And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to WrestlePurists Worldwide. I am your host, Ibu of Selfmade, Ibu of WrestlePurist, Ibu Wrestling Twitter, whatever you'd like to call me. I am here, and I'm here with the full lineup. It's the first show in a while with the full trio, conveniently and interestingly timed in terms of the fact that we have nothing on our rundown today. It's another magical wrestling podcast, probably about nothing. And Joe is here, and Anna is here. But I'm very, very, very excited to be with the guys. I should probably be in the middle visually since I'm the one with no camera. I'm like looking at it right now. They should probably like flip me and Anna. But there we go. Yeah, it looks better, you know. But I'm happy that Anna's here. I'm happy that Joe's here. I'm excited to get in the. I was gonna say to get in everything, but there is no everything. I'm excited to talk with the guys, you know, and we'll see what comes up, folks. If you are excited to watch us, please like the video. Please send us your super chats. And just ask away with whatever you guys would like us to talk about, like us to get into, because this will be a very much a free-flowing and open-ended show. But without further ado, my first co-host is Anna, who's back. Anna, how you feeling? How's life been lately? What's going on with you? What's up? Talk to me.
I am very sleep deprived, so I think it's gonna have the same effect on me as being drunk. So
Right.
It's gonna be one of those episodes today.
Yes.
And I just want to say, Ibu, your first order of business was putting yourself over me. Just saying, very, very strange.
I didn't put myself over you. I just said,
Very strange. Like, I should be in the middle. I am the main character. Sure, Ibu.
I'm not the main character. I just, it's a visual thing. I'm an artist, you know.
He has one podcast with an NBA star, and suddenly.
Listen, I'm nobody. I'm just, it's a visual thing. It's a visual thing for sure. I did do a podcast yesterday with Mr. Halliburton, and
Beast.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was very fascinating. How are you, Mr. Holbert?
Where do I start? I mean, this whole Tyrese Halliburton situation that you keep going on about, get McConnell and I'll talk to you about it. I mean, seriously, Jesus, man. How many times well, so what, dude? I mean, it's no big deal. Like, get like Covington or PJ Tucker or someone that can play the game, you know? But anyway, he seems like a nice fella. It's actually been a stressful time. You know, there's, believe it or not, and as much as people may accuse me of otherwise, folks, this was always going to be a worldwide appearance for me. It definitely wasn't the case of me looking at the tweet and going, yes, I can do that. I always knew I was going to do this show. I just forgot to communicate to the booking office. So it is what it is. Been a stressful time in my life, as you know. I completed the big one today. We're going to announce that on Thursday.
Yes.
And every single hour, I get at least 5 emails, letters, texts, tweets, blue skies, threads, Instagrams. Holbert, have you heard what's happening on Self-Made? I'm not talking about Halliburton. I'm talking about the duel, the upcoming war, the debate, the clash of the titans, yourself and AO, and everyone wants me involved in that. And I'll be completely real, and like, I'm proud to say this. That's a big undertaking. It scares me. That talk scares me. But I'm gonna talk to some people about it and see if we can come up with a deal. There's a lot of conversation about that right now.
A lot of people do seem to be tagging you, Joe. They think you're the guy to moderate this thing. I would support that as long as you don't screw me over on points there when it comes to the debate. I'd like a judge that is unbiased, somebody that will be very fair about this debate. Because truthfully, I think I'm walking into a setup. Me versus AO, Kenny Omega, CM Punk, with the level of PR that Punk currently has right now versus a couple years ago. That to me feels like a debate where I'm walking in and the crowd has made their mind up. And I think,
you should let me be the judge. I would be a very good referee for that. Very unbiased. I can promise you that.
You refereeing me and I'm being like, I just think AO won on that. I don't know. I just feel he made some good points. Listen,
Ibu talks for half an hour. AO says like, so AO won. Sorry.
He just hit the button like, well, we have a winner here, folks. We'll definitely see. We'll see how this goes, but I'll tell you this. I didn't want to do this debate. I made it very clear I'm done with debates. I'm tired. I'm tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the debating. I want to just produce. I want to be what Misawa was trying to be, which is just office. But people keep pulling me back in the ring. And this man asked me, Ayo, he said to my face, "Are you a man or a mouse?" I can't back down from you.
No. Not in front of Tyrese Halliburton.
Not in front of Tyrese Halliburton. Are you a man or a mouse? I can't be a fucking mouse. I'm a man, I think.
Yeah. Well, time will tell, right? Time will tell.
Time will tell. So we'll see what happens there, folks. Wish me luck. Do I have a game plan? No. Do I have a strategy? No. Have I begun training? No. Have I done research? No. But do I think I can win? Maybe. So we'll see. That'll be next week on this worldwide time slot. It'll be on the Selfmade channel. Worldwide next week will be an earlier show. So it'll be a couple hours earlier. Does that help you, Anna? You made a prayer sound. Does that
oh my God. It's midnight for me. I have to wake up 7 a.m. to work. Does it help me?
Well, there you go. So next week's worldwide, folks, you could expect that around 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Where what we'll be talking about? Probably nothing. Also, but that'll be your pre-show on this channel for the big self-made fight on Monday. Hopefully, Joe, after deliberations, after conversations with the panel, takes up the offer to be the big judge, the big referee. We shall see.
Look, man, my family's most important, and
right.
I need to know that if things explode and catch fire in there. There are proper precautions in place. That's what matters to me.
Absolutely. And again, we'll see. Am I scared? Maybe.
You should be.
I am.
Maybe. I made a face that everybody memed after the Big AO fucking challenge. That was
very good. Good. It adds to the shows when you're on camera because you can give visual sort of flair to the performance, I
hate it, man. People fucking memeing me and shit. I'm like, oh god.
That's part of being a great worker. That's the biggest. I mean, I know you got the NBA stars and all that now, but that's still the biggest hole in your game, bro. You can't turn the camera on. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this up front. I'm gonna have to get dirty to win this, and so I want to make it very clear to the Kenny Omega fans and to Kenny. I love Kenny. He's great. I'm gonna have to take some low blows. Yeah. It is what it is. I'm gonna have to do what I got to do. So,
Ibu is gonna go full Jim Cornette on Kenny.
No,
it's about to get nasty.
No,
what was the thing that Jim Cornette used to call Kenny? Like,
was it Twinkle Toes? I think I won't call him.
Yeah, Ibu. Halfway through it, you're just gonna see it come out of Ibu's mouth.
No, I won't do that. But
we should start taking bets.
Will I pull the tights? Will I low blow a little bit? Will I maybe swing a chair? Yeah, I will. And Joe, I'm gonna need you to just look the other way.
We'll just see what happens, right? I'm not committing to anything yet.
All right. Well, folks, how was your weekend?
Like us, Anna?
Yeah.
We're just folks now. It's like just like a crowd that watches you do the show. Hi, folks. And also, by the way, a double feed where Anna and I had to decide which of us was going to go. And that's the kind of thing.
I just trusted you guys to just be polite.
No, it's just we haven't worked for a while. Like you got to do a single feed there. So I will do it for you. Anna, how was your weekend? Jeez.
It was not very remarkable, Joe. I don't think there's much I can say about it. Just working,
Yeah.
Like always. Someone has to work here. Ibu is just busy talking to celebrities.
Yeah. True.
This is bullshit. Yeah. Actually, I was on the phone today with the wrestler saying, "Hey, man, you want to do self-made soon?" But,
wow.
Oh, wow.
Someone has to put the bread on the table in a good, honest day of work. Not all of us are friends with famous people, Ibu.
Hey, look, I drive a forklift a little bit. I do a little something. I'm actually shooting.
And you, Joe, how was your weekend, Joe?
Thank you, Anna. It was, I don't know. What did I do on the weekend? I think I just did a couple streams, I think. Saturday I was busy. Saturday it was fun, exciting times. I talked to other humans in real life for a bit, which is always, daunting when you're used to having a webcam. But yeah, it was good. A lot of Hawaiian shirts, sunny. It's good times, Anna. I appreciate you asking.
Well, no one asked me about my weekend. This is.
It was implied, bro. You talked to Tyrese Halliburton. You've been talking about this all week.
It's funny. I have my Hulu up right now, And when you like just go
God,
to
that's vulgar, bro. Jesus, that's just what a horrible euphemism. Yeah, that's gross, bro.
my Hulu,
You call it your Hulu?
no,
Fucking
it's
hell. Jesus, dude. Your Hulu up? Oh, that's gross, bro. Come on.
nevertheless.
Hannah's here. Have some respect.
my Hulu app, my application on my television is on. And when you leave Collision on, I was watching this week's episode. When you just leave it on, it just plays the preview. It just goes backwards. It plays like every Collision in order backwards. And so and so I'm just looking at it right now, and Alex Windsor's on the screen, and she's had a really nice start to her AEW career. So pretty surprising, and not to say that I didn't think.
Why surprising?
Well, all right, I'll be honest with you. Alex Windsor, from what I've seen, is a very talented woman, very very talented young lady. But she does come from the UK Indies, you know. It's a very treacherous place of origin, you know. And fair or unfair, I do kind of watch those people with arms folded to see, you know, all right, impress me. What you got, you know?
Ibu,
Yes.
can you name me 5 Alex Windsor matches
Ever?
outside of AEW?
Could I do it?
Quick.
Probably. Have I seen 5 Alex Windsor matches? Probably. Actually, probably have while watching Rev Pro. Could I remember them off the top of my head? No, I could not. I was
going
to
listen to me on this though, because I never tell you British wrestlers are good, and I told you she was
never
good.
do. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
You're never like Ibu, man. Be on the lookout for Cesaya, man. You know,
The only 2 people, Leon Slater, I
Yes.
vouch for,
and he's good.
and Windsor. And Windsor's like, you knew she was going to slot into TV because she's just her physicality. She's just really pretty good.
Immediately, man. It's crazy. I like Collision, Joe. It you don't really have to like pay attention to it. You just got to like have it on, you know, and like you just kind of hear Shivani in the background, and like,
oh yeah,
you look up and there's red ropes, and then sometimes Alex Windsor is wrestling, sometimes it's Kyle Fletcher, and then you're like, oh shit, it's Tomohiro Ishii, and then you just like stop paying attention again, and you're like, oh, it's Max Caster, and then he's like, you know, he's doing his Max Caster stick, you know. Sometimes you see Billy Gunn, and you're like, what the fuck, you know?
It's awesome, bro.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
the only show I like. It's good.
Yeah, you know how like now apps that like you watch videos from, you can do that thing where like the screen is smaller on your phone as you scroll other apps. You know what I mean? It's the wrestling TV show equivalent to that. You know, like
it's like just Tony and Nigel just having fun, you know. And you go, I like these guys. I want to hang out with them and watch Roosh wrestle. And it's just great. It's great vibes.
And then they'll like sneak in like a very good match at you. You know, like. Yeah. The whole vibe is just kind of like we're chilling, and then like randomly like 2 people are gonna go like really hard, you know. And you're like, oh shit.
It's underrated in a time of clips and such where it's like nothing happens. It's like good.
Yes.
Go to work. Go in the office. Nothing's gonna happen. That's life, you know. And then the one day that someone gets arrested, you're gonna remember it for the rest of your life. That's how Collision operates. Nothing really happens. And then someone gets juice in an angle, and you go, "Oh my god, did you see what happened to Mark Briscoe?" You know, like, that's how it's supposed to work. Ibu.
Are happenings overrated, Joe?
Oh yes, very much so. You have to just, I mean, there has to be a norm to break from the norm. This is actually, I'm doing a bit, but this is actually a real thing. You have to establish how things are supposed to be, so that then when something happens, it feels like a break from that, which is actually a lost art. All jokes aside, I understand we're being silly here, but. Yeah, that does actually matter, I think.
Yeah, like, listen, man, so wrestling shows used to just be a show with matches. And so when a big transgression takes place, it feels monumental.
Yeah.
And wrestling TV now is so wired to where there has to be a transgression every 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you don't even feel anything when a guy gets thrown through a car windshield, you know, because that's just wrestling television.
Right. Dude, I saw... some people were dunking on Tony for putting over. He kept repeating about Darby trying to kill John Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, Tony, we get it. And I'm thinking, if the idea is that Darby Allin tried to kill John Moxley, I feel like Tony should talk about that every couple minutes, really. I mean, it feels like saying to not just sort of gloss over, right? I think Tony was doing his job in that case.
I mean, Joe, in the NBA, when fucking when Ron Artest ran into the stand. It's not a Tyrese Halliburton. I swear.
We're still talking about it, bro.
Ron Artest punched the fan, and that was the story of basketball.
Never gonna stop.
Yeah.
I was talking about my friend Tyrese Halliburton, and we were just, we're like, man, this is.
I just didn't get that. Like, is Tony supposed to just like say it in passing? Like, it's just bizarre to me. I don't know.
Anyway, Anna, I was not judging your buddy Alex Windsor. I just, maybe I had to check my own biases on that one, and she is quite good.
Yes,
it's been a nice year for women's wrestling, man. A lot of the ladies are killing it, honestly, and I'm very happy for most of them. A lot of people are.
Which ones are you not happy for?
Oh, we don't need to get into any negativity. But, I'm happy for most.
No, it's not negativity. It's just saying like it's some you wish there would be booked better.
Oh, who would I wish was booked better?
Yeah.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
She's probably my number one with a bullet there, to be honest with you.
The Stat and Willow connection generally has been squandered in it this year, sadly.
The storytelling.
Willow had the anarchy thing at least, right? She at least had that, but yeah.
She had moments where she got to like be Willow.
Yeah.
Statlander's had a very weird, uneven year where it feels like she's gone in a couple story directions, but nothing's really sticking, and I don't really know who she is right now. I don't know what Chris Statlander is.
Yeah.
So that's my number one.
And
Willow,
it feels they had such a good story with the two of them, and just like they don't really know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because they don't really care as that much to think what to do, because like we know that when AEW wants to tell good stories, they fully have the potential to do that. So when they cannot like stick to the landing, or when it seems like they're lost and the characters are lost, we know that's just fully them not caring, because when they care, we see the things that they can do. So
well, here's the other problem. Mm-hmm. They were going to launch women's tag titles, and they began telling the Willow Statlander story of the tag titles before launching the belts, and now the launch of the belts are delayed. And so you started this angle before launching these belts, and now you just had to kind of pause and delay it, and so it comes off very clunky narrative. Yeah.
Do we know why is it paused and delayed?
Tony publicly claims that it's due to injuries within the division, is what he said.
Who is injured right now?
I'm not totally sure. I think Mina's hurt, but like he claims there was injuries. I do know that I was told it was the tag belts were gonna be launched around the late summer period. So I'm sure in his head he probably thought to do it around Forbidden Door.
Jamie Hayter, that's who we forgot.
Oh, that's it. So he probably wanted to do something with her, who she would have been teaming with. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, but like she could probably team with me and have great matches. So yeah,
right.
Like Jamie, I get why. It's a bummer because it does just feel like at some point you kind of have to tear the Band-Aid off, right? In some ways, because the way wrestling and just sports work is like when Jamie comes back, someone else will be down because that's the way shit is, right? So hopefully it works. I mean, you and I had a lot of conversation at the start of the year about this being the year of women's wrestling, and I think there was a lot of truth to what you said in terms of the talent. I think, unfortunately, there was some truth to what I pushed back with, which was I don't know if they have the creative support that they... there was that great... someone tweeted it, they highlighted it, like Paul Heyman was asked who could main event Mania, and he was like... He named 3 dudes, and he said Rhea with the right angle or something. I can't remember who to post, so I apologize, but it was like... Yeah. That was such a... It sounds silly just highlight one quote.
Misogyny, yeah.
But it was just like so symbolic of everything, yeah.
Did you see that, Anna?
Yeah, he was like Rhea with the right opponent.
But he didn't do that for like, what was it, Brian Breaker or Jacob Fatu? And look, I think those guys are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, they're superb, yeah. So is Rhea.
Shouldn't they also need the right creative and right opponent? Well, why?
Especially because Rhea's more established. It was Jacob and Bron were on there for sure, and Rhea's more established as a top star than either of those two.
Yes.
So it's like,
She's more famous, she's bigger, she's more over than either of them, both of them together.
Matches. Yeah, more main event matches.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can even claim she's better in the ring than either of them. It's all like, you could say that without being crazy. But the fact is like, she needs the right opponents, like Bianca, Charlotte, Io, like they were not the right opponents, like Charlotte. Right. Braun Breaker, you can put him with Karrion Kross and he's gonna have him in an event. Like what do you mean?
We don't say that name on Worldwide, but
sorry.
No, I'm sure
it's like Britt Baker.
One of the super chats will get us, but what did I want to say? The funniest thing, Joe, I was at my job like 2 weeks ago, and literally there was a little girl in the shopping cart, mindlessly just scrolling through TikTok, which is already concerning in and of itself. But one of the ones she was just watching, it was so staggering. I wanted to tweet about this, but I didn't want to come off, I don't know, whatever. But she was just watching a Rhea Ripley TikTok. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
No, I just said yeah.
Oh yeah. So I thought, yeah, she was just watching a Rhea and Dom TikTok, just watching it, no reaction, just looked at it, and then it ended, and she kept scrolling. So I don't know, but
I mean,
it's funny.
We've talked about this a bunch. If you look at like who are the most marketable wrestlers in the company or in the industry,
Yeah,
I think you do a list of the top 25. I actually think the women are going to dominate that list, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
No, honestly, because when I tell people who are not wrestling fans who have never watched wrestling at all, they first say like, "Oh, I'm a wrestling fan." One of the first names that they tell me is like, "Oh, okay, you're John Cena, you're The Rock," and they're like, "Oh yeah, Rhea Ripley, right?" And like purely from seeing her on social media, purely from just seeing TikToks or whatever from her, they know her name, they know who she is. They even like if I go on her Instagram, I see so many people that I know that follow her that have never watched like one single wrestling match in their lives. Like she's so huge, and just the idea that she could do it, but she needs this and that, like she didn't have it 3 times already.
Yeah,
it's insane.
The further we are removed from Evolution, the more bullish I am on that as one of my favorite shows of the year.
And one of the cool show.
Yeah, and I think Dave talked about like one of the coolest things about that show. He may not have phrased it this way, but he highlighted the same thing I'm about to. The difference in vibe of like that crowd, right? Mm-hmm. The difference in the tone of the chants and so on and so forth.
Like little
it was
girls
just
and shit. Yeah,
it was really, really cool. Really, really cool. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a whole part. There's a whole audience out there they're never gonna like. I don't think they're ever gonna fully appreciate the potential there because they're too busy doing what they do.
That's the thing. Part of it is they overcharge for their tickets, and on that night they were just trying to get bodies in the building. And so because they were trying to get bodies in the building, they were like the last weekend, Joe, they were dropping prices to like $20. And that allowed for families, and that allowed for children, and that allowed for normal people to come watch wrestling. And what's a universal truth, no matter what period we talk about in pro wrestling, the crowds always sound better when normal wrestling fans are there. You know, when it's a bunch of rich people and it's like a clout fest and it's just celebrities and influencers, it's not the same as this guy and his 2 little girls or this guy and his 3 boys watching pro wrestling. So that'll always change. The most charming thing I remember, it's the only time the WWF got my money in my adult life was when I was at NXT this year with my brother in New York, and we were sitting next to these 2 little kids. One of them was maybe like 12, and the other one's maybe like 7. And like the older brother looked like he was tapped into NXT, and the younger brother didn't understand wrestling. And so it was just kind of cute. He was like explaining like Javon, and he was like, "Oh, his name is Javon Evans. He's bouncy." And he's like, "Why is he bouncy?" He's like, "Oh, because he could fly." And he's like, "Really?" And then like you seen Javon do a move, and he's like, "Oh!" And like I'm just watching that. I'm like, man, that's what it's about. You know, that's what wrestling is supposed to be for. It's like, no offense, but when I go to wrestling shows sometimes and I see a bunch of like gray haired like, just dudes all over the place, it's just kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't feel right to me. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I mean, like when I see a crowd of people that look like me, I do kind of go, it's probably not gonna be the best vibe, you know.
I'll be online and it's a bunch of dudes in like Led Zeppelin shirts that look like they were born in like 1969, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know.
I would absolutely love walking into like a wrestling show and just everyone has a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I mean, that would be kind of money. But it's a weird, like, it's actually part of why a few years ago I loved like mid-2000s Ring of Honor was the show I would just watch in my spare time, you know. And I've gradually moved away from, not because I think the wrestling wasn't great, it was great, but the vibe of those crowds, and let me be clear, there was exceptions. There was absolutely times where like the fans got fully, it happened a lot because Gabe was very good at his job back then. But there were also times where it feels like the crowd is like
cynical and snarky,
and they're like in on it, and it's just, I don't know. That stuff's hard. The more and more I struggle with that when it feels like the crowd is sort of like playing along. And as much as I love Brian, I think he's maybe the best wrestler ever. He would like have fun with that, as you should. That's the crowd you're working in front of. You should work to that crowd. But it's part of why I don't go back to that stuff as much as I used to, unfortunately.
It just, even the tone of the voice in the chants, you know what I mean? Like that, like there's just something awesome about like enthusiastic screams for momentum shifts in matches.
Yeah.
Rather than like, I don't know, like
the match is getting better, right? Like it's the difference between we're into this because the match is getting better, which is fine, but I do prefer we're into this because the babyface just turned the tide and he's about to make a comeback. Like that's the difference, basically.
And you hear like the squeals and the screaming instead of just like suck my dick, my dick. With Adam Cole or like
But again, I mean, Ring of Honor is honestly not. Ring of Honor is not a good example of it, really, because if you look at like Homicide's title win and stuff, I mean, there's a million exceptions to it. It's just me personally, I will find myself watching less of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I hope wrestling. I just. Again, it's always down to how affordable these tickets are. That's the real truth about it. So we'll see how that continues to evolve. But we will evolve this show by finally taking your guys' super chats. We're going to hear your opinions, your takes, your questions. I ask nothing of you guys other than to please make me not want to harm myself. So ask whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about, we will do. We are here to entertain you guys. But with that said, let's take it away. Let's read your questions, your takes, your opinions, and go for it. Anna, you are the official super chat reader.
Yes. Ryan Sully 261, Tiny Canadian, thank you so much. Hey Ibu, Anna and Joe, really important about Naomi. I hope it's nothing serious. Was really looking forward to the title match tonight. Do you think they run an angle tonight, or do you think it's legit? Keep up the great work. Yeah, I saw they canceled the match. What is Naomi injured or?
I'll go to the official statement so that we have this accurate. But it was my understanding that Naomi was scheduled tonight for a match with Io Sky. Let's go to WrestlePurists aggregation of this. So here's the deal. It was going to be Naomi and Io, and WWE claims that Naomi is not medically cleared to compete, and therefore her scheduled match against Io Sky will not take place tonight on Monday Night Raw. Naomi hasn't tweeted in 3 days. She made a joke 3 days ago about tripping and getting hurt on a scooter, and that seemed to be a meme, but she has not posted since, and it would be fucking insane to legitimately hurt on a scooter. So
scooter is crazy.
My only go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, imagine being a wrestler if you get injured with any other situation, not the wrestling. Like, I would be so pissed.
I got hurt falling off a bed once.
Yeah, that happens. Like,
it wasn't even falling out, to be honest. It was me if it's more embarrassed. I just got out of bed and like planted my foot wrong and like fucked my like toe up. But yeah, Naomi appears to be injured. That's a shame for her. This was supposed to be her real serious last run before retiring. Her intention was to have this title run, wind down, and then like pretty much scale back her career. So if she's hurt here, that would really fuck things up, and I hope that's not the case. So I have no idea if it's an angle or not. I spoke to nobody about it, but we shall see.
Yeah. Well, wishing the best. And Tanjong 512 999. Thank you so much. Have you guys seen Pep's Callum Newman Bullet Club theory? I think that could be a cool direction to go for, as they don't really have a direction for the War Dogs. Could help since Nuge, in my opinion. Spice up Nuge, in my opinion.
I have not seen it, but what I will tell you guys is this. The United Empire, or the remains of the United Empire, are pretty much dead. And the stable structure in New Japan is absolutely pitiful. Yeah. I did G1 catch-up this morning, and it made me really, really sad. The only real solidified stable at the moment is House of Torture, which continues to gain people.
How many people are in House of Torture right now?
I'm not. They're bigger than the Wu-Tang Clan. There's like maybe 50 people in it now. It feels like every other G1 match is a House of Torture match that they have to deal with. And then Oiwa got hit with a guitar a bunch of times, and there was a bunch of ref bumps, and he got eliminated. Would Callum Newman in the Bullet Club be interesting? I mean, I don't even know if that's the answer. I think the true answer to New Japan right now when it comes to the staleness of the stables is what popped you there, Joe?
Hebrew said, I don't know about if this Callum Newman would be interested, and Anna went into a violent yawn in response without realizing it.
Look, man, I think the answer really is to just like just reset, man. Just reset and say we're just doing wrestling. We're doing wrestling. Tanahashi's whole thing with the 10-point plan was supposed to be like, I will clean up this company in terms of finishes. I'll clean it up in terms of the interferences and matches and things. Let's reset so that like this stuff stands out again. How many New Japan shows can we watch with, our buddy Walker Stewart going, oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it. Not again. Oh, God damn it. These House of Torture guys ruining another damn match. Oh, I gotta throw it out. The referee, Red Shoes, has to get control. Every fucking show. Every show he does this. Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it.
It's a shame, dude, because, like, with Goto as champ, there was actually, I thought, genuine room for optimism, because obviously Goto wasn't a long-term solution, but he was such a, like, refreshing change to the main event style.
Mm-hmm.
And now it just, all of that feels like it was for naught. And I understand part of that's out of their hand, but you get what I'm saying, right? I mean, Zach, from what I understand, Zach's been great in the last couple of months. And Zach's a great wrestler. I never wavered on that. But it's more the direction than it is Zach, right?
Yeah, and you look at guys who are kind of like bucking this unfortunate trend and you get into them. You're like, oh man, he's working like an NWA style, and it's kind of sick the way he's kind of making it work. Joe, he has this he has a suplex where like it's he like chicken wings your arms from the front and then overhead throws. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. That
I used to do that one, yeah. I used to.
Right. Yeah. So he's found a way to build his matches around getting to that spot and then doing it, and it never like gets kicked out of. Like the minute he hits it, the match is over. And all G1, like he just builds his matches around it, which takes a lot of discipline, honestly, to like do that.
Yeah.
And he's done it and gotten it over. So now when he tries to get it with a Oiwa, like the crowd gasps, like, oh, he's got him, things like that. My point is, he's really had a great G1, and his reward for this is losing to David Finlay and getting eliminated before like the playoffs. Ryohei Oiwa is someone people got into. His reward is getting hit with a guitar by Sonata and losing while Sonata advances in the G1. Evil. This Joe legitimately like it's gonna sound insane. There's a legitimate chance Evil's going to win this G1.
I believe it, dude. I mean,
ended Tanahashi's G1 in an awful match. Tanahashi's final G1 match was getting just jumped by the entire House of Torture, and Evil's advancing.
But I mean, how many years? And I do get the sense that things have changed kind of corporately and structurally. But how many years has Gedo been, to our knowledge, the booker?
Do we count committee or do we count solely this is his thing right now?
Let's look at this. Let's list both so we have context.
He's roughly been involved with their creative. You can debate since 2009, definitively and definitely since roughly around 2011, 2012.
Right. It's 2025.
Which would coincide. Yeah, exactly.
Which legitimately would make this like one of the longest runs that any professional wrestling personality or presence has ever had as a booker.
It's not healthy. Joe, every booker that has gone 10 plus years, by year 11, they are horrible at their job.
Here's the thing. So who are the alternate? Who else has done this for this long? This is a genuine question. I don't know. Because this is the thing. People will name like people that own territories back in the day, but they would often employ bookers.
Yes.
And in Vince McMahon's case, obviously we saw what it did to his brain. But even beyond that, Vince was like, he didn't book so much as he just told everyone else their ideas suck, didn't he? It's generally your cycle is 3 to 5 years. We're talking, I mean,
look at
Gedo was brilliant, but it's just, I don't know. I think it's impossible when you're that deep in. I think you're so fucking lost in everything going on,
I think bookers, like they start losing their minds.
Yeah.
They get so stuck in how they do a thing that they don't realize it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're so used to it. They start developing their favorites, and sometimes their favorites aren't the best people for like your company at the moment. You start kind of being hesitant with the new people because you trust your guys. It's why like he swore by Tama Tonga to the very end, even though Tama Tonga was trying to get out of that company for like 5 fucking years. In the second WWE, you want to go to WWE? He was like, yes, and then immediately dipped. But like, yeah.
It's like Vince.
Your guys being evil, though. Like, come on.
Well, yeah. Vince is a kind of complicated case in a range of ways, but most of them not complicated. Actually, it's pretty straightforward. But as a booker, I mean,
right?
In the sense that he is one of the guys who did employ bookers. Like Because originally they have Pat Patterson, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And who do they have initially? Someone in the chat will know, someone can help me on this. He goes to WCW in 1989. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. He's originally the guy Vince brings into book.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
All right, give me a second here. Carry on with the show. I'm
no
mad
problem.
about this.
The point is, the point is, booking for that long, like you burn out. I mean, Anna, compare how Paul Levesque was doing for his show in 2023 to like right now. Like he is
George Scott. Apologies, everyone. Yeah. Carry on.
So Benjamin said Ed Ferrari, you're off by about 10 years there, brother.
Yep.
But
George Scott.
Like after 3 years, a lot of bookers like are fried. Tony Khan a couple years ago came off like it was over. He had to like kick out and have like a resurrection and like water splashed on his face. He basically had to like just survive like the death cycle that most bookers have, you know. So
but also it was like around the time that he started getting like a lot of new talent for his roster, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's in New Japan. What are the new exciting people that they have been getting lately? Because it feels like everyone left, and then they haven't like actually gotten new people like they did with Kenny or they did with Ospreay, like people that were building their name from other places, and then they went in and they had like amazing prospects, you know. Like who has gone to Japan lately that we've been like, oh my god, this person's gonna be crazy?
Well, I mean, there's excitement around using Takeshita, but to me, it's like this.
Yeah, but
he's like W guy, you know.
Yeah, and he's already like, he's not gonna sign with New Japan. I mean, like someone that they can guarantee, like this is gonna be our like next ace, you know, this is gonna be our new Okada or a new Tanahashi, like someone who can count on to be this person. Because apparently, like with the way they're treating everyone.
Well, here's the other issue, and I talked about this with the guys actually. Their in-house young guys are pretty good. Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, Ryohei Oiwa are nice pieces. Shota Umio is up and down, you know, and Ren Narita is who he is, but these are decent pieces. But I think, Joe, that they're going to be the next version of the Manabu Nakanishi, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, and Yuji Nagata generation. And what I mean by this, these guys, this current generation of New Japan guys, the trigger was pulled too late, and they never got to be put over by the guys before them. They didn't get the opportunity to beat Okada or Will Ospreay or Tetsuya Naito on major shows. And in Japan, historically, and when the Japanese booking, that matters. The big crowd at like the Budokan or wherever, they need to see that guy beat the previous guy. Because if they don't, and that guy, and then they leave, and now you're left with these people that never got properly elevated, and now they're just telling you they're the stars, it doesn't work. And Kojima, Nagata, and that crew not being able to really definitively beat Hashimoto on a big show or Keiji Muto or whoever, that affected them for the rest of their careers.
And that is important that we have to be clear in saying that there is no quick fix to this predicament in terms of box office, right? We have to be honest in that, if you look at the ingredients at their disposal, I don't think they're on the verge of a boom. And this is going to be a pretty slim, tough stretch ahead of them. I think what you're saying is, the key point earlier is let's at least just do the basics and get out of our own way, I think would be the suggestion. But I mean, I don't know. You always hear things about like, fans in Japan feel differently or whatever it may be. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on the matter. On the outside looking in, it feels like a booker that's kind of going in circles to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, but what I do know from like fans in Japan, I don't know if it's all of them, but they love House of Torture, like a big section. Right. So like I do understand from that point. But yeah, at the same time, if everyone is in House of Torture and House of Torture is everywhere, then what else do we have? It feels like there's New Japan. I've been very uninterested in it for a while now, even though I love Zack, and I can say Zack Sabre Jr. is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's been champion. I probably have, I don't know if I watched a single match. I do want to watch the Takeshita match still, but because I had not just been interested at all, I'm looking at the G1 standings, and the only possibility that excites me is Yota Tsuji, because I've been hoping for him to become champion and for him to be like the next big name for, I feel like 2 years now, that it feels like, okay, now it's his moment. It's like never is. So like that's the only possibility that I'm hoping for, that he's the one that wins the G1 and then he can actually go and get to the place that it feels like he's been on the edge of getting for years now. Like 2 years or something, that it feels like he's been almost there. I don't know. Anyway, I really like him. I feel like, yeah, out of all the new people there, he's the one that I see like the most potential with that, but I don't know why they don't pull the trigger already.
If I'm New Japan, the last thing I'll say on this segment, if I'm New Japan, I'd honestly reach out to Tony Khan and see if they could loan me any of their ex guys that now are in AEW, whether that be an Okada or an Ospreay, or just another top guy that hasn't been in New Japan, and basically say, can I borrow this guy for half a year? They just not full time, but just in and out, where they can basically hold one of our world titles and be an obstacle for one of my guys to climb and get over beating. So that means Okada returning as a bad guy and doing an outsider run and holding the IWGP Championship and dropping that belt to somebody. If that means Will Ospreay doing that, if that means Jon Moxley doing that after he's done with the Death Riders thing, which they could have done when Mox was there last time, and they just chose not to.
Yeah.
They had Naito beat him. I would look into doing something like that.
Okay, I have to ask, and we're all aware of this guy's limitations physically, so I get it, chat. But I have to ask: did I like fall asleep and miss this? Was there not extensive conversation that Shin was like done, and then he just stayed and never left? Did I imagine this, Hebrew, or did this was a real thing that happened?
Bro, it's very strange. I actually spoke about this last night in the Selfmade Discord. Someone said, like, whatever happened to the Nakamura contract thing? And I said, maybe he just, I said, I basically was like, I guess the media just doesn't care about his story, but his deal was expiring, and we just never got an update. And so I have no idea. He still isn't around, and I don't know what's going on with that. He's beginning to feel now like a guy who it's going to be a random, it's just going to be a random Wednesday, Joe, and you're just going to get that like Instagram post on, where he writes in kanji that like his deal is up or something.
He equally feels like a guy who could show up on a different promotion show and then we find out he's left. Like it's just a weird one. I remember that conversation. I remember you and I talking about specifically, like, and again, I'm fully aware of his limitations at this point, but like he would help just from star power point of view. Surely after they lost Naito, right? Like,
well, I mean, he helped Noah pop some houses.
Yeah.
So because a lot of people are talking about how the G1 attendances are now like down to like pandemic level attendances. But the thing about that is, and to be fair to them, it's like those G1 shows, like people have to understand, those G1 shows had Okada, Ospreay, and Naito, and they don't have those guys at the marquee anymore. So it's like, who's going to bring people to fucking, sit in the building? So
it's tough, dude. It's tough. I mean, it's like anything. You still need, the youth movement stuff is great, but you still need people that the fans know and recognize and want to see wrestle live. It's always that way, right?
And when you have them, you have to use them to get somebody over. And that's why their 2023 is going to bite them in the ass. Their 2023 was the last full year that they had, not Jay White necessarily, but they had him at the start of the year. And then they had Okada, Ospreay, and Naito. And they chose to do nothing with that. Okada, kicked the shit out of Kaito Kiyomiya, who's not a New Japan guy, so whatever. But Okada didn't have any big losses to young guys in that year, nor did Will Ospreay, who wanted to put over Shota Umino.
Exactly. Ospreay is far worse in the sense that while beating him would have meant less than beating Okada, I think it's pretty fair to assume that Okada kind of called his shot on that one, to be completely honest. Maybe that's unfair. I apologize if it is. Ospreay, I think we're all aware, like, they just chose not to have him put Shota over. Like he was willing to do so.
Yeah, and that was a Shota Umino who was trending in a much more positive direction.
That match is incredible, dude. The power struggle Ospreay Shota match, I think, is like astonishingly great. But it's lost in a lot of ways. It's lost because they didn't finish it the way you suspected they would.
Yeah, man. We're gonna take one last super chat with Anna, and then we'll let her go.
I'm so sorry, guys. The 9 to 5 life is not easy. Like, oh my god, people were not joking.
And incredibly, it's this question. So,
yes, Ryan Cecchini 3468-699 Canadian. Thank you. The most important cross question: Lena going to AW TNA. Wrestle for both recently. Lena Cross. Where does she wrestle now? Where is she now?
She's an independent wrestler who's made appearances for these companies. I'm actually not familiar with her at all,
Yeah.
but I do follow her, and she made some quirky jokes about this. So I don't know what's the deal with her, but shout out to her for like weaponizing her status and being like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna pop up in TNA and AEW. I'm allowed to, so I'll just do it." You know, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, they kind of like, even though there's no boundaries, they'll still kind of like be scared and be like, "Nah, I want to get signed by this place, so I'm gonna stay here."
Right.
You know, but she just is, "No, I'm a free agent. I can go wherever I want."
Ultimately, if people want you, then like if TNA wants you signing across, her doing an enhancement match on AEW will not change their mind. To like, let's be real. So, yeah, I've seen her work. I like her. It feels like TNA is really, I hate to use this word, but it still feels apt. It feels like they're really desperate to restock the Knockouts division. Some of the the pieces they've been focusing on in that division recently are, honestly, it's like as bad as it's ever been. It's really bad. And that's part of why I don't think JC should have that belt, because I think you should just have Masha win, of course. But I also am fully aware of the surrounding pieces, and fuck, bro, it's tough. Yeah, it ain't an embarrassment of riches, to put it that way.
Absolutely. Anna, is there anything you'd like to... Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, what is the build for Forbidden Door? Like, what is happening there?
Well, basically, I'm going, and they're just trying to kind of promote that mostly. You know, Hulk will be there.
So here's the deal. They haven't been able to really do New Japan involvement because the roster's doing the G1, and so it's just been built like it's another AEWB pay-per-view. Is the truth actually at the moment?
Right.
What you can expect is in that final week, when G1 is over, Tony will announce a number of matches that will fill the undercard with New Japan talent, and in that very same week, I would also expect some CMLL matches announced. The Forbidden Door, Zack Sabre Jr. is going to face the winner of a 4-way. So he's defending.
Probably Nigel.
Probably. And Mercedes is doing a 4-way herself, which will have some wrestlers from other promotions in there. I believe it's a CMLL wrestler, a Stardom wrestler, an AEW wrestler, and Mercedes. And the AEW wrestler is Windsor, if I'm not mistaken. So that's kind of your interpromotional involvement so far that's confirmed. And again, I'd expect some announcements in the final week about that. Your Forbidden Door main event is likely going to be MJF and Hangman Page. So people can look forward to that one. MJF will not be using his money in the bank for that. He will just be earning this title shot.
Either we got, how great is it to see a CMLL star like Maxwell Jacob Friedman, main event, Forbidden Door, a homegrown Arena Mexico attraction. Oh, baby, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
This is the Forbidden Door that feels like the least Forbidden Door out of all of them. I feel like, because your main 2 title matches, because in the other Forbidden Doors, if I'm not wrong, they did mix it up, you know, you had you had Tanahashi and Mox, you did, were they champions at the time? I don't remember, but you did have those mix. And now if you have Hangman and MJF and then Athena and Tony, amazing matches, but for me both of those feel a lot more like an all-out match than the Forbidden Door match.
I think,
and couldn't they just wait for a while?
I definitely get it, but I think this conversation is directly tied to the one we just had about New Japan's current status and star power. To be honest, that's why I think the G1's a factor, but I think star power is also a huge factor, unfortunately.
I agree, Joe. What I would contend though is, if AEW wants to continue to make money off of this concept and do business with New Japan, I do think they should. And it'll probably start at the show. I think what I would do is, I would try to position New Japan's young guys in some type of tag situation where I'm trying to communicate to my audience the value of these people so that I could try to draw money with them on repeat appearances. And so what I mean by that is I would probably book Oiwa, Suji, Yuya in a tag opposite some the AEW mid-carders that they can beat, just to kind of give my audience a sampling of who these guys are, what they're about, that they're formidable, that they're credible, so that maybe I can get them on an appearance later in the year, maybe get one of them in a C2 or something, and then come time for Forbidden Door next year, maybe one of them has enough credibility to fight. I'm not even saying a tippy top guy, but
no, I agree. Yeah,
another
I definitely agree.
Yeah, because otherwise there's nothing you could do with New Japan next year if you don't even try to do that.
I definitely agree. I just think it's a case of, this is going to be even more interesting in the coming years. AEW the pay-per-view model, that's a big part of what they do, right? And it feels like so far it's a case of them saying, look, this year, this needs to be an AEW heavy show on top, and we'll figure out the rest. And I think, to your point, it's important with that in mind that the New Japan talent that's featured on the undercard is featured prominently. I think Zach and Nigel, presumably that is the match. Sorry, I know I'm keeping you with my extensive.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I asked.
That will be a big match in London. And so that will ensure at least that the IWGP title match will at least feel like. Because remember, there was one IWGP. Didn't they do like Jungle Boy and Sonata?
Oh my! Right? That was awful.
Dude, I don't look. Nigel obviously has wrestled like 2 matches in 15 years or whatever, but he will be so over at the O2 Arena. That match will have great heat, and it will feel like a main event match at least. So there's something to be said for that, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll see what they end up filling the undercard with. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anna, you said.
They always. No, sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say they always put it together right at the end, but I still hope that one year we can get one that is actually well built, because I don't think that's been the case at all.
You're probably never going to get a good Forbidden Door build, but what I would hope in the next few years is maybe, listen, if you can't really lean on New Japan, you could just lean more on CMLL if you could, or whatever. The fact that, for example, MJF has had this extensive program with Mystical, that's been good TV. They could have done the blow off here, but they're going to do that one on a CMLL show. So whatever, we'll see what happens. We'll see how they fill it out, and we'll see long term what the viability of this concept is, because I do think it's a concept that's losing a lot of steam by the year. It was something that made a lot of sense in 2022 and was a big deal. It's very much not a big deal now, to the point where AEW themselves have basically told you that the biggest thing we could do on this show for the main events are our own matches, which isn't necessarily an incorrect call either. So
right. It is interesting that this brand is I think it's understated how much this brand matters to just the wrestling fan. It kind of fascinates me, actually. I think Forbidden Door is one of the most bankable things they have brand-wise, which is wild because it sounds ridiculous unless you have context, but I think so much of the audience has full context that they will always see it as a big draw, even when it's not a conventional Forbidden Door card, right?
That's cool. So, again, we'll see. I think Tony, I'm going to be honest with you. You know what I think radicalized Tony Khan? I think the John Moxley Naito match from last year changed.
Well, fair. Radicalized me too, mate. I understand.
Tony watched that and then watched the Swerve main event and was like, fuck this shit.
We don't need them.
And before I send you off, I hear he's delirious right now. I hear there's a super chat in your name somewhere. Monty, if you could find that,
yes,
put that up for her so that we don't read that without her. If you could find that. While you do that, oh my God, Anna is dying. This is fascinating. This could be like a science experiment here.
Honestly, if you guys held me a gun pointed to the end of the stream, it would be worse than the drunk stream.
Well, here it is.
No, I was I just quickly want to say this because when you say oh, you should post a picture of Karrion Kross, on Twitter to get more viewers. And then I was like, yeah, I'll post a Karrion Kross one. So I literally Googled Karrion Kross one. And I was just so confused with the pictures I was getting. And what is this? So that was before the podcast started. So I'm already gone. Top Robozo 199. Did Anna learn her lesson from her suspension? Well, apparently not. We'll see. I hope there are other opportunities for me to drink on stream again. I don't know what at this point would lead me to that. Because Hangman winning was a very special moment. I need to think what else would make me drink on stream. Willow winning the title, I said that. Winning the world title. What else? Look, honestly, I don't think much. I don't see much. When Kenny comes back again, another Kenny return, that always
when I beat AO in my debate next week.
That's never going to happen. When AO beats you, then I can drink also for that, cheers. But yeah. But Anna, now I just need to sleep, guys. I'm so sorry. Next week is going to be earlier. I will be on my game. I'll be here. But yeah.
You did your
long days.
You did your thing, Anna.
Sorry.
This is the mid-match write-off. We're putting you on the stretcher. You did your thing. You jumped off the ladder 2 times. You took the pop. So we appreciate you. We love you. And we'll see you next week for the earlier worldwide stream. Anna, get yourself some rest. Have a good night.
Okay, enjoy the stream, guys. Bye.
All right.
But well,
so now that she's gone, Joe, let's count this money. Let's see what we got left here. And
I wasn't advertised, bro. I think that cuts me out.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Riley, what? Do you want to read these or do I have to read these, Joe?
You're reading them, bro. I'm not advertised.
You know what? Better for me. It forces you to kind of like have to answer it a little bit more. You know,
I'm on color, bro. Don't worry about it.
Riley Walker 7174 $10. If AEW's doing Forbidden Door next year, I'd like them to do AEW versus New Japan Survivor Series X elimination tag. I did pitch an elimination tag. The last one was Elite Dark Order, and people forget that rule. I feel like this is a concept that's just underappreciated by modern wrestling. Elimination tags are awesome. They're so good.
In a time where match steps and match concepts, like everyone's looking for these grand solutions.
Yes.
The elimination tag is one of the most like easily, in terms of producing, it's so easy to get them right.
Yes.
And with the level of talent these major promotions have now, like, dude. I mean, I remember you and I talked. At one point, there was like, wasn't at one point there talk of a collision one?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I think this is a great idea. And it's a tremendous idea. And I think if you did it right, I actually think there would be room. If AEW did this exact thing we're describing and like put a name on it, you know, like a brand to it, I think it could actually become like a calling card, you know?
Yes. Bro, you make them fight for something, and then like you give them whatever it is, 30 minutes, and then they they can have their big grand elimination tag where ultimately it gets a guy hugely over. People would love it. Again, the last one was the Hangman Page one. That match was awesome. It was terrific.
And the fact that we've traded these in on Survivor Series for War Games is like
it's diabolical.
It is, yeah. It really is actually, yeah.
Bro, WWE mustered a couple decent ones in the worst creative period of the company's history.
Yes, some of the the Ziggler one is great. Right. Yeah. The Ziggler one's great. The first Raw vs. Smackdown one I remember liking. Yeah, it's bizarre.
2019, in spite of the fact that they squashed Walter in it, which is insane, that match is terrific too.
Is that the Keith Lee Big Room one?
Yes. Yeah, I was a big fan of that at the time. We need to show more love to this concept, in my opinion. It's a great concept. I think an AEW New Japan thing would be super cool. You go 4-on-4, 5-on-5, let these guys do their thing. And like you just said, WWE making Survivor Series the War Game show is like so. It's just like, all right, man. Like, okay.
And you can wear the New Japan influence if you want, and you can even do the thing where like it's pinfall submission and they do the top rope elimination too, don't they? In New Japan for these.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Plus, this concept is more suited for modern wrestling and the styles of most of these wrestlers than War Games is, hilariously.
Dude, there are very few wrestlers that it won't be more suited to because it's like similar in the sense that you have it's a rotating hot tag, you know, but you have way more drama because you have multiple pins and all of the different dynamics. Yeah. Baby faces are outnumbered. Whereas with War Games, as we've talked about this a million times, War Games is a very hard match to end in a satisfying fashion. And they believe they'd fix that by adding pinfalls, but they have not fixed it because it's still, you have to end, especially now, you have to end 50 minutes of stuff with a single pinfall.
Yes. You know? It's so I saw an edit of like the first couple War Games. You saw
How good was that? How good was that edit, dude?
It was incredible. And as I'm watching, all I could think was like, the point of this match was a bunch of ex-meathead football players and security guards running in and just bum rushing guys and bleeding and winning in triumphant fashion. That was the point of War Games. And they never went past like 30 minutes. And we just lost the plot with that one. But that was
just a different match now. That's the truth. It's a different match. Some of them are good. Some of them are good. Like you and I watched the Bloodline one together and we had a great time.
Yeah, that was good. But good doesn't always equal right, you know. You know this.
I know this. Yeah.
Good doesn't always equal right. You know, this is a show that's going to happen tonight at 8 p.m. That might be good. Is it right?
No.
Exactly. We're about justice, Joe.
Something like that, yeah.
SJC Conroy 17, €4.99. how easy has it been to completely no-sell the Fed this last week? Not watching SmackDown on Friday changed my life. I can't lie, Steve. Steph of Hawks fandom. Well, I'll tell you this, brother. SmackDown is like historically terrible right now. Like it is like remarkably awe-inspiringly bad. So if you can't win off SmackDown, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that does feel alarming. I mean, SmackDown was more. I've said this before, but 3-hour SmackDown at least had the courage to be like interesting in the sense you sort of went, is this actually 3 hours long? How long have I been watching this? You know, the sun would come up and go down, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, people can watch what they want. I don't care. Comment on that, but
yeah,
SmackDown's very bad.
Yeah. We at WrestlePurists do not give a shit what you do with your free time when it comes to your wrestling fandom. You can do whatever you want, but
yeah,
SmackDown's remarkable. You'd watch that 3-hour show, Joe. And do you remember how like we always joked about this? Remember how like I would sometimes skim through it later when I got home, and I'd be like, it was whatever. And then the first time I watched the show live ever, like as 3 hours, it broke my mind. It broke my I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow.
At 3 hours, that show was paced and formatted in a way that like I legitimately I couldn't wrap my head around it being a thing that was on TV. Like, it was astonishing the way that show was paced. It was crazy.
It was paced worse than Raw in the 3-hour era, wasn't it? Like,
by far, because he had way less stuff.
Raw did more things, like in the 2010s and the 3 hours. Like I sometimes I would look at some old like cage match cards, like 2015 or something, and there'd be like 8 matches on the show in the 3-hour era. You know.
SJ Conroy is saying the show's terrible, by the way. It's, just to be clear.
Of course. Yeah,
I wanted to note that because,
we're very aware. But I just saw a funny comment in the chat. This Jumanji Hunter said SmackDown had a half hour of Skylines.
It was mad, bro. It was a crazy. Like, obviously, it's not any better now, but like, it's not 3 hours long, so it's less sort of intriguing in a perverse way, you know?
Yeah, because as we knew, you would just get like 15 minutes of Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that vividly. Yeah. You
know what's funny though, Joe? WWE having to film more TV time led to some interesting choices. I just saw on my timeline, someone posted a John Cena Daniel Bryan promo from the Go Home of SummerSlam 2013. And it was like John Cena's promo, man. And some guy quoted it saying, like, when did WWE promos become this overwritten and verbose, right? And I'm watching it, right? And at first it starts out good. He's kind of like, Daniel Bryan, you say you want this opportunity. You say that I'm not a wrestler. And he's basically like talking about like why he is who he is, why he's gotten to where he's been, being a hard worker, fighting, being blah, 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 blah. He's just being a John Cena promo, right? And it's a minute and I'm like, this is pretty good. What's wrong with this? And I see that my video has like 3 more minutes left. And he goes, and you can tell John has made his point already, Joe. But then he goes, you see, Daniel Bryan, I've beaten Triple H.
Yeah.
I've beaten Edge. I've beaten Randy Orton. I'm like, all right, man, fuck. What are you doing? Like, fuck. And then it's minute 3, and he's just kind of like, you're a B+ player because you don't hold this. And he's holding his championship. And he's like, they say yes. This audience can. And I'm like, well, enough, man, shut up. Fuck.
Well, that's where, and it was a clear shift in the late 90s, early 2000s where the promo became, let's basically put a top guy and give him a quarter hour.
Yes.
And there's, look, I get it. I understand it. There's room for that. And if you got The Rock, like, bro.
Right. Yes.
You got The Rock, give him 15 minutes. Like, I don't give a fuck, you know, but when you start, and Cena even for that matter, but it just, you get, it turn into a point where it's like you're just chewing up TV time. You're not actually promoting a match or trying to sell me on an angle or a conflict. You're just wasting time.
And even with Steve, Joe, because he himself would get ornery if you be like, hey man, we need to do that. He'd be like, he himself, Joe, he would insist like, if I'm getting 15 minutes, there has to be physicality and a couple of twists and turns. So of Steve Austin quarter hour, that was a long set stretch of TV time. He's cutting his promo, then he's fighting, and then he's like going outside, then he's going back inside, and like a lot of shit is happening in the 15 minutes. He did not like being the soliloquy man, basically, is what I'm saying. Then there are certain guys that were like, oh, soliloquy? Let's go. And that's, Paul Levesque, Triple H, even when he was a good wrestler, that was just that he loved just getting a long period of time to just do that. So I'd imagine you've never seen it. Have you ever seen Triple H explain that he was the one that directed Rikishi to run over Stone Cold? So it is a very good promo. I will preface this by saying this. It is a very good promo. But it is also, Joe, like in an 8-minute backstage pre-tape explaining his plan. And it's just like, there's just no need for this. It was the night of Survivor Series 1999. I told the world, I am the game. And on that night, I showed it. It wasn't me that hit you, Steve. It was Rikishi. But you bet your ass I put him up to it. That promo could have ended right there, Joe. Could have ended right there. And you have him, they start doing flashback scenes, Joe, where he's like, yes.
Have you seen the Bully Ray rendition of this?
No.
When Bully Ray was revealed as the leader of Aces and Eights.
Oh my God. We have to live react to this now in the Discord.
So he did like How I Did It was what he called it or something. And it was like like backstage pre-tapes. And I think the way they formatted it was they were like spliced throughout the show.
King Tristan says Bully had like 10 parts.
And there were like there were plot holes. There are times where the Aces and Eights beat up Bully, and so he had to explain it. Like I had to take one for the team as part of being a leader, and it was like, dude, just fuck. Like they were so proud of this like 8-month angle to reveal Bubba Ray Dudley. Like, get a clue, guys. Jesus Christ!
In explaining this, did he like do his Bully? Did he kind of use like semi-insider terms, doing it, going like, I had to take the heat for it, you know? Or what, did he do?
I don't know. I think he might. He kind of just does that. That's his default, isn't it? That's what he does.
I think possibly it makes you laugh when like these fucking wrestlers, these big brainiac wrestlers, like in their promo, they'll just kind of do things like, and I bet you guys popped for it. But I was smartened up to what was going on with Aces and Eights. You know, like they just do shit like that. You know, it's so part of their lingo. They don't realize it's insider word in terms anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. A lot of the ECW crew, like, you know, the white Italian ECW side of the crew, they the wrestling carny lingo is so just a part of their brain that like they don't realize it's like insider terms anymore. If that makes any sense.
Oh, for sure. One of the cool things the Let's fan kind of stumbled upon when they were in the TNA Hogan series, TNH, Total Nonstop Hogan. They built a pretty good case confirming what was the suspicion at the time, which is that it was absolutely supposed to be Eric Bischoff as the leader of Aces and Eights. And like it seems very likely that they just realized halfway through we can't actually end this with Eric Bischoff, and they just fuck it, Bubba will do it. Which to me that angle is a great example. Now obviously look, the angle is very flawed. But that's the type of angle you only start shooting if, like, you know you've got an absolute
money reveal.
Like, I've got Dave Bautista signed, bro. Let's do this Aces and Eights thing. You know, like, you can't just do it and go, well, maybe it'll be Bischoff. Mate. It's like, what do you mean? You can't do that, man. You got to know what you have.
They do a multi-month odyssey with this thing. I've never seen the angle in full. I've only seen isolated clips, and I always laugh watching it because, like. Yeah. This is gonna sound weird. I feel like I missed out on incredible social media banter. Like this feels like an angle that a lot of like the old posters would just like shit on Twitter and like laugh about every week.
Be honest, probably less so than you're imagining because a lot of people had just given up on TNA by that point. You know, there was a great moment on the last Center Stage Chronicles where Rob Naylor he gave me the confidence to finally reveal something about myself that I never thought I'd reveal publicly.
Okay.
He had the guts to say something that I never had the guts to say, which is he said, I like the Black Scorpion angle. And I was like,
oh my God.
Thank God, finally someone else.
Oh my God.
Now I can reveal myself as being a fan of. Now, again,
Joe.
Ric Flair as the reveal is terrible, right?
Joe.
I don't know, bro. There's something about that angle. It pops me. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. I've pretended for years I didn't like it, but I do. I think it's good. I'm sorry, everyone.
You know what? You should have given me prep time because now I have to feel like I have to admit bad things that I liked.
Yeah.
I'll say this. The Who Attacked Roman Reigns thing from 2019 SmackDown, I was into it for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he thought he was getting a big push for Buddy Murphy.
Yeah. I was like, you know what, man? Also, I was a big Paul Heyman's going to save Raw guy.
Oh, as you should have been, bro. They were desperate times.
Listen, desperate times. Andrade was getting wins on TV. I was like, oh man, we're back. Aleister Black.
There was, relative to where it was before, the show
it was a better show. Yeah,
it got better.
Legitimately got better. Plus, I'd get home from work and I would just skip like the Lana bullshit, and I'd be like, the show's okay.
Yeah.
So
it was better. Definitely it was. It's just.
Anyway.
It's obvious you're never going to sell people right now because it's like it isn't actually good, obviously, and the matches are rest with the silence. But compared to where it was before, it was an upgrade. Yeah,
that's the thing. If you go back, the crowds are dead, and there's like 5,000 people there, which is crazy. Like they were ice cold. Bro, AEW had the what's the word? The streets were claimed by AEW.
Yeah,
like. There were very few people left that were just like, nah, man, I believe in what WWE is doing on the main roster. That was done. That was just done.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
Yeah, man. Kenny Jones, 1282, 499. WWE's depressing lately. I rewatched Unforgiven 01 and JR calling Angle's win gave me chills. What's some of y'all top announcer calls?
Oh, great question. I think Jim Ross is going to come up a lot.
Yeah.
I think Jim Ross. So I think Jim Ross's call of Ron Simmons winning the belt is the best in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never seen it, I would recommend you find the TV where they reveal it happened and watch Bill Watts and Jim set it up. They do a to camera where they're talking about like, this is the most magical thing you can ever see in sports. Like the world title changing hands. It is absolutely, it gives you goosebumps. You know, it's amazing stuff.
Joe, did you ever watch the early WCW Saturday nights when they try to do that talk show shit?
Yeah, and Rick Rude like buries the WWF. How weird is that, dude?
Yes, you know what's funny? Retroactively, Jim Ross talks about how like it was an idea that didn't work and it wasn't very good, but I kind of like it as just like a thing to watch sometimes.
It ages well because it gives you different context that's lost. Like the Rude things, but Rude does this whole promo about like, I was the IC champ and I never got a shot at the big belt because the promoters didn't, you know, they knew I'd beat Hogan or something. I was like, damn, that's money. That stuff's a lost art in the sense of like doing the work shoot stuff in a way that still works in Fabe, you know, like Rick Rude was superb at that, I thought. For example, and this one was a little bit nasty and he probably shouldn't have done it, but when Rick Rude showed up and he was like, oh man, Sting looks bigger on TV.
Wow.
That was so... Considering that WCW audience at that time was so thin and was like a lot of hardcore fans that just wouldn't give it up, that was such a great way to get heat, bro, because it was basically saying, like, I came from where the guys are really big, you know? And so then when Sting got his hands on him, it was like, fucking kill him, you know?
Yes. Hilarious. Not to put over modern Paul Heyman, but he actually did that a little bit. He had a promo talking on behalf of Bronson Reed a couple weeks ago where he said, like, this guy right here, the bosses of this company kept him away from Roman Reigns and CM Punk and the top guys because they were afraid of what Bronson was going to do to him. That's boxing. Because in boxing,
exactly, that happens all the time. Yeah,
boxing's always like, hey man, they don't want you to face this ranked fighter because they think he's gonna da 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 da. Like that's boxing. But the reason I brought up the Saturday night thing is because Ron Simmons has an episode where he just sits down with Jim Ross and they do like a VTR where he's just kind of going around his community, being like a leader and stuff, and like talking to the kids and shit. And it's so money. It just paints him as this really wholesome, just a reliable masculine figure, a guy who like, you know what it feels like Jim Ross interviewing like a football star. Yeah. Which I mean, he did play football, but like that was the
blueprint. That was it.
Yeah. It's so money. And Ron Simmons is they pick his brain talking about life, and you know, at one point he's. Do you also remember Ron Simmons at that time? He'd do these like facing the camera interview promos where he basically be like, I want to shout out the kids in Chicago, man. Stay off them drugs and da-da-da-da. And you got to just, fight for that. And I want to represent the people and show people that there's a way out of the ghetto. And I could go out here and be a wrestler and be a champion and kick some butt and da-da-da. You don't have to go and sell drugs and da-da-da and commit crimes. And it's just, it's beautiful.
I will always believe it could have worked. I'll go to the grave believing it could have worked. I wasn't around at the time. Maybe that is naivety on my part. Maybe that's ignorance. I don't know. I will always think Ron could have been that guy. I'll always believe that. The way he presented himself, the way he carried himself, he needed help in the ring, but having him work with like the Barbarian on paper, and I love the Barbarian, but a title match on pay-per-view in Philly with the Barbarian. Come on, guys, help the guy out a little bit. It's just
right.
I'll always think, but the problem was I don't think Vader was rushing to do business with him again, right? Probably, and if Vader weren't going to put him over again, then like who was he going to work with, right? So it's a shame, man. It's a real shame. But he was awesome.
The way they presented him was awesome. So I'm always a big Ron Simmons guy. Have you seen any of his ECW stuff, Joe?
Very little. I've heard good things. That's something I would like, because that's the only part of his career that I'm not familiar with. Yeah.
What's cool is the Philly fans just thought he was cool as fuck. They didn't like do the whole like, oh, you're not an ECW guy. They saw him and they're like, oh, this is a bad motherfucker. We fuck with him. And
that's awesome.
Something about just the street edge he brought in. He has promos where like he has promos with like Too Cold Scorpio and shit. Where Too Cold Scorpio's like, hey man, cut the shit, Ron, man. You don't, man. It's Philly, man. We don't get down like that, man. We don't do that stuff y'all be doing up in down south. And Ron's like, hold on now, let me tell you something, brother. It don't get more street than me, baby. It don't get more street. Don't talk to me like that. It could be ECW or WCW. I am Ron Simmons, but I get down. I get dirty. I get that. And Tuco's is like, all right, then get down, man. Then get down, play it. Come on, baby. Show me what you got there, man. It's so sick, dude. Because like the whole idea is Tuco basically being like, you don't do that weak shit over here. And Ron Simmons is like, right. Oh, you don't know me. You don't fucking know me, man.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Well, I mean, Too Cold, in WCW with the music, as much as it's funny in hindsight, I mean, they made him like a cartoon character, didn't they? Too Cold Scorpio. I mean,
yes,
he's a wrestler that I didn't fully appreciate until this last 4 or 5 years. Oracle was like so mad at me when I kind of went, whatever. Like I knew he was good, but I just went, whatever. And Oracle was like, dude, you have to watch Too Cold Scorpio. The word underrated is thrown around too often, if we're being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Too Cold Scorpio is actually underrated. Like he was such a gifted worker, dude.
And he was cool as fuck.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's a shame that like the late 90s he didn't like pop, even though he appeared on major promotions. Like I feel like him as Too Cold Scorpio, just being the cool guy that does cool wrestling moves in his own presentation, would have worked. To me, I don't know why by 98. If you're Vince Russo and you're keeping an eye on ECW and you're already copying their homework anyway, how you have Flash Funk? How are you not going? Okay, the same way you looked at the Smoking Guns and you said fuck it, Billy Gunn. Now you're badass Billy Gunn. You look at Road Dogg when he was the roadie and go, no, now you're Road Dogg, Jesse James, which makes sense. You're making everybody more contemporary as you're shifting them all. How do you look at Flash Funk and say, no, you will still be Flash Funk? That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't.
I mean, yeah, they always did weird shit like that. I'll never understand that. Yeah, stupid.
Mind you, everyone else changed. Leif Cassidy is now Al Snow. They did that with everybody. So it's like, okay, so now it's Too Cold. Flash Funk, make him Too Cold Scorpio. And I guarantee you in 98, with like the talent pool being what it was in 98, how does that guy not fucking make it to the IC title scene? You know what I mean? And
I think if you and I talked about it for 5 more minutes, I reckon we'd be able to figure out a good reason.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I just feel like that,
Yeah, because by the time they flip him back to Too Cold, it's like they've already just given up on him entirely. It's fucking brutal.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Kenny, thank you. I don't even know if you addressed what you said, but shout out to you, man. Commonwealth Cowboy 12, $4.99. Hangman and Jet Speed should be an alliance. Ultimate good guys with great vibes and killer matches. Big Marvel Comics team up energy. Big like Captain America teams with Wolverine and this guy, and they go on a mission. I watched their collision main event. It was a really good time, good vibes. Kevin Knight, he's not just a dynamic athlete. He actually does have some charisma. And it's not I'll put it to you this way. It's very easy to go, okay, he's just the next version of like 2021 Dante Martin. But I think there's actually stuff there already in terms of like, I think he's built to like become an actual like star. Not that Dante
projects, with respect to Dante, he projects a lot better. Yeah.
Right. And I'm watching him in the match and I'm like, there's a level of gets it there where I'm like, I can already foresee him like maybe someday, potentially, there's no guarantees in life, someday becoming a world champion. And I say that in the sense that I always felt that when AEW had their own 4 pillars, Joe, the entire time I always said to myself, like, I get it, but I can only see 2 of these 4 people becoming world champions in AEW. At the time, I always thought that. I'm like, Jungle Boy's nice. People like Sammy Guevara. I can only see Max and Darby being world champs. And I just couldn't visualize it with the other 2 guys. And it ended up being true. But with Kevin, and I'm watching him, and I know how he talks, and I know he projects, and I'm like, I can see a world where in 2 to 2.5 years, he gets there. Does that happen guaranteed? I don't know. But I mean, looking at how Fletcher climbed, I'm not going to make it. I don't think it's inconceivable.
Yeah. If you'd have told me a year ago that we would be talking about Cole Fletcher the way we talk about him now, I'd have been stunned. I mean, he was obviously a talented guy, but like you and I think he's a best in the world candidate.
Yeah, which I didn't think a year ago, and 2 years ago I would have slapped if you suggested it to me. I would have actually shit out of you. In fact, Murph in the WrestlePurists group chat, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, was like the second the team was signed, Aussie Open. He was like, Kyle Fletcher's going to be world champion in AEW, and I think I literally said, "Shut the fuck up." He's going to be world champion in AEW.
Oh, bro, he's going to be like 4 or 5 times over a world champion up there.
I'd honestly have him win it before Will and have Will beat him in Wembley next year. That's what I would do personally. That's what I would do personally. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Commonwealth Cowboy. Sonic 5993, $5. Can we please talk about Cody Cena? We don't have to talk about what happened after. Okay, I thought this match had the right energy when it started. When the bell rang, these guys really went for it with a way that they didn't the first time around. There was no dilly-dallying or Rock Cena cosplay. They just went right for it, and there was an energy and a fervor there that kind of told you, okay, we're going to be okay this time, I think. And it's really fascinating how John just kind of locks into position when he's himself again. Being a heel is just not natural for him, and he clearly had no idea how to work like a heel. He was himself in the SummerSlam main event, and him and Cody went for it, and they had a really, really thrilling match that felt like a stadium main event. The crowd was super into it. The teases with the Cody heel turn stuff was generally solid drama. Did they go over the line when it came to the near falls? I mean, Cody took 8 AAs, and realistically, I would have been fine at you cap it off at 5 and end the match. 8 is clearly jumping the shark. If this was in any other context, I would have been like, this didn't work for me. But in the context of John Cena's run being as bad as it had been prior to this match, I forgave the extended 10 minutes that didn't need to exist and thought the match was still very fun in spite of that. I don't think it's the classic that Dave Meltzer thought it was, but I also will give them credit for busting their ass and putting in a hell of a shift, including John, who I haven't seen that effort and that just that level of a shift from him since 2017. So I thought the main event was strong. I do think it's like a 4-star match. If I had to do the star ratings game, I thought it was a hell of an effort personally. What did you think, Joe?
We're on the same page. I'm probably a smidge lower than you because you're more immersed in like the Cody pursuit, and all that good stuff.
Sure.
I thought it was really good, and it's one of those matches that, if I'm being completely honest, like if you were to make a checklist of the things that happened in it, it probably would sound like something I would absolutely hate, but I couldn't help but be charmed by. You and I were actually watching it together, right? We were on the air, so, and I was saying on the air, like, there's a lot of things about this that I could pick holes in or so, but watching it, I found it to be a very, very charming match because you could just see how much fun Cena was having. It was loud and it was big and it was over the top, but it was also a SummerSlam main event between two guys that, in that match anyway, were framed as like, action movie heroes. So
right. Yeah, that worked. Yeah, I agree.
I think, and ironically, it's the least of anyone's concerns coming out of the show. In a strange way, at SummerSlam, they may have pulled off their most balanced 1-2 punch main event wise they've ever done in that regard. I'm probably forgetting something. So that's the Mania 39 one, had great main events. But my point is,
in terms of making the match itself just making you like satisfying,
right.
Like, oh, that was well done. Yeah.
What was specifically unlike, to be honest, their modern approach, there actually was a huge difference in style between both main events, and both put time in but did it in a very different way.
Kind of impressed by that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's just funny that for very different reasons, neither match was the headline coming out of the shows.
Yeah, I mean, that illustrates how they just can't help themselves. And Dave Meltzer spoke about it with Garrett Gonzalez about like being a moment's promotion and doing the thing of we just had to shock you, we had to catch you off guard, we had to do it, and it's like it's a bad precedent that there's nothing wrong with just putting on a sincerely good show and ending the show.
Right.
Now, here's the thing. I do believe in shooting angles at big shows. I do believe in this, in theory. You want to give people the thing to hook for the next TV. However, it shouldn't be a thing of like when there's something not naturally immediately there, fuck, we had to force one. Now the Seth one, again, me and you obviously would have just been fine with Punk winning the belt, and then you do whatever you got to do on TV with that, but they did what they did. That one's one of those things where you chalk it up and you throw your hands up and go, not for me, that's for the Raw people, whatever. The one on the second show was just bad on every level, but not just morally, but also just creatively. It's like stupid.
It was, as our friend Alex said, it was the somehow Brock Lesnar has returned fucking Star Wars-esque level thing, right? It was just like, whatever, he's back. That was the level of fault. But they didn't even do a deal with like Dwayne, throwing Brock his way or something,
Realistically, though, Brock's creative has had no logic for a couple of years now, actually.
Just shows up and wins and goes back home, then that's it.
It's like not, like when you actually, I deeped it, not to use a UK term, but I deeped it the other day and I was like, this guy is actually like, not made any sense for years. 2023, it was never explained why he had a problem with Cody Rhodes. He just attacked him and then they just fought.
Oh, yeah, they did that angle on Raw. Yeah.
Yeah, they never explained it. You go backwards before that. When you really think about it, what was the impetus for Cowboy Brock? It's like, unless I'm forgetting something, that's just a thing he started doing. Like he just,
and the Lashley stuff was, oh my good God.
Didn't Heyman turn on him and then turn back a couple times in the middle of some of that and like Lashley Roman stuff?
It was the Roman stuff, yeah. They did like Paulie went back with Brock and then he turned on Brock in a pay-per-view match. I forget. They've wrestled, Roman and Brock wrestled so many times I can't split each match, but yes, they did that.
His creative is not. He interrupted Mustafa Ali's Money in the Bank and won a Money in the Bank that he never was in. Like his creative has not made. He had a Cain Velasquez program, like when you really think he's overcome a lot of like illogicalness by just being the presence that he is as a wrestler, and just you kind of, it's hard to like. What did you see?
Robbie in the chat said I liked when they were going to do Lashley versus Lesnar where the loser gets the Fiend.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? Where it was like sweepstakes?
Bro, both guys, IRL, fighting to get away. And then
crazy.
Bobby losing that fight and then doing an angle with Uncle Howdy and beating the living dog shit out of him and walking off Joe and the face he made, veins in his face, intense as fuck, looking like he wanted to murder somebody and potentially like that was. The way no one spotted that in real time was crazy. I remember texting you like, dude, Bobby just beat the dog shit out of Uncle Howdy and didn't sell one bit at all. Joe, there was another angle with or like he had to look at a screen during a Howdy thing or something, and he was instructed to be like concerned, not scared, but just concerned. And his what he chose to do on TV was, I don't give a fuck about that, and walked off.
All right, next super chat.
Do you remember when Eddie Kingston approached Malachi Black? Do you remember this? It was like a rampage or something. I think he cut a promo on him where he said like, "I don't give a damn about you. Whatever you little crap you do."
The lights go. Yeah, but to be fair though, and I love Eddie, but that was that era where he did every promo was like that. Like it was just, like. Like, you remember when he started doing promos where he was like, "Oh, I have to cut a promo now." It's like, Jesus, Ed, like this is the thing that you're like one of the best promos in wrestling. Please, just cut a promo.
His gimmick for a year became like, "I am above wrestling."
Yeah, as someone that adores him, it kind of drove me nuts. I know a lot of people loved it, but he'd be like, "Oh, let me guess, I have to do a promo." It's like, fuck, Eddie, just cut a promo, man. And again, I know that's his, I just think. We've talked about Eddie a million times. I just think he's a guy who, like, he doesn't fully appreciate how good he is, I think, sometimes. And so he does these sort of things to entertain himself instead,
Joe, they tell him in the back, like, you're plugging the pay-per-view. Make sure you say it's on Sunday in the show. And so he'd go out there and be like, he would literally, like, announce, like, the guys count me down. This is my outline. Hey, buy the pay-per-view since I gotta say it. And it's like, bro, just say it. Just say it's a double or nothing, man.
He was so entertaining, you couldn't begrudge him. But when he does a sincere promo, he's probably the best in the business of that, So it was like, sometimes you just wanted him to fucking really, lock in. But at other times, if you're doing a tag feud with the House of Black, then I get it,
Because he is who he is, like, he has to, like, be really pissed at somebody,
Yeah.
And so, like, when there's not that many things to be pissed about, the way he would manufacture, like, look at this fucking cameraman counting me down, you know? Look at this little fucking bitch, you know? It's just like, what? He's just doing his job, Eddie. He'd be like, don't you count me down! Don't you count me down! Don't you fucking get us like, dude, God, fuck.
He'd be like, Pete here off camera is just like, Jesus, Ed. What a legend. I miss him dearly, though, I gotta say. I miss him so bad.
I'm telling you, he's gonna come back and find a new thing to be pissed at. And it's just gonna be funny what he chooses. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I don't know. It'll probably Let me think. What's a thing going totally fine in AEW now that people like just a thing, a concept, or whatever?
The Ed can rally against.
That he would just be like, well, fuck this, you know? And it's like, well, what, man?
Fuck. I don't know. It's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know. All-star tags, good one.
Yeah. Tonight it's gonna be me and just me because we got to do the all-star tags. No. Here's another one. You know those prize money ones?
Mm-hmm.
Every match has to be about $10,000. I used to fight for no fucking money. I was a fighter in the streets. I didn't get money. I did it to show who I was. I'm the mad king, you know. I didn't need $10,000. These guys beside me, they never had to grind. They never had to midway through Speedball saying, what's happening, man? Are you burying me? What's going on? You know? Oh my God. To open a collision. That's
a legend.
Yeah. Good stuff. Oh fuck, man.
Yeah.
Ish the GOAT, $4.99. Do you want Kriller Cross Ibu? No. And please do not lie to the public, or else I'll get my fans on you. # we want Cross AEW champion material. The answer to your question is no. Thank you, Ish. Commonwealth Cowboy 12, $4.99. Also, TK going, bam, here's a Nigel match out of nowhere. It was nuts. It ruled that, and Nigel's ESJ business will be wonderful. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't have that much enthusiasm for modern Nigel McInness wrestling, and I feel like I kind of pretend to sometimes, even though I respect him a lot and I like Nigel a ton. However, in this setting will be pretty cool, pretty fucking sick. I just wish Nigel would bring the old hair back just to get me into it. You know, I need the visual, I need the spikes. But
I would say, yeah, sorry, but stylistically, this should also be like a lot easier for him to navigate. Yes, I think.
Yes, he won't struggle physically doing that style.
He had some really good moments at was that Revolution when he worked with FTR?
I want to say
no, Double or Nothing.
Okay.
He had some really good moments in that match, but like as they got deeper into it and they did more intricate stuff, it felt like Nigel sort of was like, it's hard to just do that shit when you have hardly wrestled in it. It's really difficult, you know? So I think this will be like, they can just kind of riff and grapple, and I think the crowd will be with it, and Nigel will be the babyface. I'm excited for it, even if like I'm a little bit cautious, because I do always try and keep in mind where Nigel's, again, he's hardly wrestled for the last decade. This is a very challenging task, but I'm happy for him that he gets these moments nonetheless.
I agree. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Cowboy. Black Goku 212, €5 with an awesome Hayabusa profile picture. Punk's catalog of matches, feuds, moments, draw factor from ROH to WWE, AEW is a far bigger case than KO, in my opinion. Oh, Kenny Omega. I was like, Kevin Owens? Good luck, Ibu, but it's an easy game. I think I'll be the heel in that setting, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I'll do my best. Thank you, Black Goku.
I can't comment on that now.
Van Jiminator, $4.99. Random, but very excited for Dakota Kai's potential dub debut. I don't know, man. She's not allowed, depending on the fans you asked it. You know, they think it's illegal for a solid mid-card wrestler to be in their women's mid-card. You know, there's no space. I'm a fan, and I love a surprise debut. Not in a Russo way. Hope y'all have a great week. I hope I do too. Thank you, Van Jiminator. And I like Dakota Kai and think she'd be totally fine in AEW.
She's awesome. I love Koa. Wherever she goes, I'll watch, because I've watched, years now. I think she's awesome. So hopefully she lands somewhere that I would like to watch.
Yeah.
But I'll try my best regardless.
Dakota, if you go to Stardom, I'll watch Stardom more. I'm already locked.
Cool, bro. She's just cool, straight up.
I'm already locked in for Big Boz Joe. I'm a big Bozilla girl. I'm glad she went there.
You're a big Bozilla girl.
Yeah. Oh shit! I fucked up. I'm a big Bozilla guy. There you go.
The way you went, yeah, I am.
You know what it reminds me of? Joe, some person on social media told CM Punk he's baby girl coded, and he was like, "All right, it's a baby girl code, whatever that means." You know, always a new thing. I'm a big Mozilla girl.
Yep.
Sonic 5993, Evil beating Tanahashi is funny because if he didn't, Tsuji would have been eliminated. Terroristic booking, yeah, putting yourself in this position where either Tanahashi spends his last G1 getting embarrassed by Evil, or he beats them, overcomes him, and it eliminates Yota Tsuji. How could you put yourself in this position? This, we've already spoken enough about this, but it's just a shame. It's the way it is.
It is. You and I would love nothing more than to come on Worldwide and just dominate the conversation with optimism about New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes, it would save my modern wrestling fandom. We could. It would be our hook. You know what I mean? It's like Shindy Hone is rising again. Don't let Aaron Wolf be sick. If that guy is sick, I'm gonna be annoyed.
We need, because I was basically doing that bit when Goto was champ, just like pretending. So
yeah, exactly. But at least the main events were sick. You know, the main events were really good. The Nagata match was so cool, and the Shingo match was great. It was like one of the 3 good Shingo matches this year. I just give me something, man. Speckles, $4.99. CMLL will not have a lot of involvement at all. Most, if not all, their guys are booked on an indie show for the same day in Mexico. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is happening?
I don't know, bro. I didn't book them.
Just call it AEW Europe or some shit. AEW London Takeover, where the fuck they're at.
Where is that at, by the way? Where's NXT Europe at, bro?
Did you see what Dave said about it?
No.
He reported this week it's dead. I was howling. No one said anything. He was like, it's dead.
That didn't even get any traction. No one even sold for that on my feed.
Dave said it was over, and nobody sold. They're like, all right, well, okay.
Everyone just went, yeah, it makes sense. There's a stream.
Nobody gives a fuck.
There's a stream with Monty and I where that was like the lead topic, and it's just 40 minutes of Monty and I going, oh, that don't make any sense.
You're like, that's probably like, you literally like, I don't think this happens because it doesn't make sense for it to happen.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyway, sorry, I skipped over. I don't know anything about this deal with CML talent. Hopefully it's wrong.
After Dave said that, Corey Brennan was like, I've spoken to my sources in the European Indies. They can concur. It's looking dead right now.
Oh, shit. All right.
Basically, he just hit up a bunch of European indie wrestlers, and they're like, you heard about this? And they're like, no, man, we're in the dark. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. What a bizarre just idea that was. Fascinating.
NXT Europe. Incredible. Amari V, $5. A lot of people showed their true colors at R-Truth this past weekend, but at the same time, I'm not surprised at all. Neither am I. And I said what I had to say. And it upset the people that you'd expect it to upset. But the guy came back, said, I'm Ron Killings. I'm serious. No more, bullshit. Cut his hair. And then he just stood in front of John Cena, reverted back, and clicked his feet. So if you enjoy that, if that's what you're into, then go ahead and continue to be into that. And that's all I have to say about that. Enjoy SmackDown. There we go. Awkwardly long transition to the next super chat. You know when you have to like do the second nod and it's like, all right, man, come on, get the super chat off the screen.
Didn't feel like the topic for me to go, yeah, that's what I was saying.
I'll never not laugh at when in sports and also in WWE, when they show the celebrities like ringside or courtside and like it shows them and they, they'll smile, they'll do a thumbs up, a pose, fists up, whatever it is, right? And it's like after 3 seconds, it's like, all right, get the camera off me. And he'll be like, we have, Daniel Cormier. And he'll like nod and smile. And he has to smile and nod again.
Yeah. He
has to hold the smile. And it's like, bro, please get the camera off me. Come on. But nevertheless, Riley Walker, $5. Nigel's Calder Grand Slam for Mystical is good. His Cathedral of Lucha Libre. I agree.
Nigel McInness I love Nigel's commentary anyway, but there are times where he can go through the gears and become like, that next level. Yeah. Sometimes he really, for the major matches, he can sometimes, when he feels it, he can be superb. No question.
Right. And I would agree. I would totally agree. All right. Kale, 50 Mexican pesos. I bet if he was on cam, Ibu would be having cold turkey shakes from not watching Monday Night Raw. Anyways, favorite dinosaur? No, I'm good, man.
Luchasaurus.
I'm sober. I'm feeling all right.
Yeah, you're doing okay, bro. You're flying it.
I I have meat substitutes, you know. I'll just
Bro's gonna be listening to the raw commentary like it's radio.
all right, man, all right, you know. For the self-made Discord, these motherfuckers, they already ate your bit, Joe, and someone was like, Raw means so much to him, you know. He's poor guy. someone was basically saying like, look, man, we got to give him some grace, man. It's a tough, you know.
I love so much the idea of you like closing the curtains, like looking around, like closing all the windows, like fuck, I'm watching this Punk match, bro.
Like,
you deactivate for 10 minutes just to stop yourself from being tempted, you know.
Oh, I can't take it. Where's Penta? You know, like, I need Ludwig Kaiser. Oh my god, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. I actually forgot to make an announcement that I'll make shortly, but my favorite dinosaur would probably be God, I don't know, Brachiosaurus.
Yeah. It's a tough question, isn't it, to be fair.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the crazy man, 88, $5. Obafemi should be the next Brock Lesnar. I agree. Braun Breaker should be the next Batista. Who's the next Cena and Orton? And when does Ricky Ethan join the Vision? I don't know. I was originally told late August, like end of August on that one. What was the other question? Who's the next Cena and Orton? I don't know. I don't know if there is the next Cena and Orton particularly.
No. I think you got to concede defeat on replacing those two blokes. I mean, Cena as a prospect is actually lost to time now because of all of the you can't wrestle stuff, but Cena was considered like an outrageous prospect. The prototype thing was a shoot, dude. That's the way he was viewed, you know?
Yeah.
Orton has many faults, but mechanically is like silky smooth.
Mm-hmm.
The chance to make, like Cole Fletcher, I think this same time, but I assume this means in WWE, right? So I presume.
I would assume so.
So in WWE, it's like there's talented guys, but there's no one you compare to 24-year-old. Randy Orton at 24 was like a supreme worker by that point. You know, when he was working 04, 05, yeah.
I watched the SummerSlam 04 main event in Self-Made a month ago for the match.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You know, it was recommended to me. Just had to honor the request of the people. You know, that's why I did it for sure. Yeah. And
great match.
Yeah, it was very strong. I hadn't seen it since it happened. Yeah. And kind of understated. Like the match itself feels kind of, I don't know how to explain this. It's not, maybe we got so used to modern WWE main event wrestling. And also like it's just kind of quiet. And what I mean by this is it's not Dwayne's main event match where it was exciting and loud and announce table spot. It's not modern WWE with the cutscenes. It's kind of like, it feels like a collision main event.
It's a match that suits the belt they're wrestling for, dude. That big gold, like some old school main event wrestling.
Yeah. It like ethically climbs to being a 3 3/4. And then
that's pretty good.
And it just ends. Oh. Thank you, crazy man. Sonic 5993, $5. So did MVP basically foreshadow Hangman and Bobby happening soon with his words to MJF last Wednesday? What I would tell you is that Bobby's goal on screen and behind the scenes is ultimately becoming world champion.
Yep.
Andrew Brown, 9981. Sari versus Stardom is like Bad Boy Pistons versus Jordan Bulls. You know, from what I gather, the deal with Sari is she's walked in and basically said, these girls are fucking weak pussies, and I'll kick the shit out of all of them. I love that trope. I love it. So
sick, yeah. Like a bully. She's working like Big Van Vader.
Absolutely. That's good stuff. So there you go. Love Dogs Avery, 199. I hope Karrion Kross enjoys the NWA. I wish Karrion Kross nothing but the best. I don't know what's the deal with his contractual situation, whether it's real or not. What I would simply say is if you are somebody that is passionate for Karrion Kross and you love him as a storyteller and as a wrestler, I hope you support him if and when he were to go elsewhere. So if he takes a House of Glory date next weekend, watch it. If you love Karrion Kross and he appears in TNA, watch him. If you love Karrion Kross and he works MLW, watch it. If you really love and support Karrion Kross, then you should support him wherever he wrestles. That's what I would say for him, and that's what I would say for anybody who claims to be a huge fan of any professional wrestler.
Love him unconditionally.
Unconditionally.
Good work.
Austin Kinkle, 4100, $2. Are you a man or a mouse? The whole arena. I am not a motherfucking mouse. Mouse feels like the new, like, you know, Terry Funk could make. Terry Funk would call somebody yellow, and he would make that sound like he called you a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? And somehow AO made Mouse feel more violent than. I'd rather be called a bitch, you know?
Yeah.
Joe, he cut a promo on Hayabusa after beating him at the 7th anniversary show for FMW. And he was like, Onita, this is the best you got. You walked out on FMW, you retired, and you gave me Hayabusa. And you gave me Masato Tanaka. They're not real competition. Onita, get up and fight me. But you won't. You won't because you're yellow. Because you're yellow, Onita. Yeah. That you had a yellow streak in your back. And I'm like, damn. He called him a cheese. Like, you're a chicken, Onita. You're a chicken. And I'm like, my goodness. Like,
yeah. It's very important that you specified that streak down your back thing, because I think some of our younger viewers may have been quite concerned about what Terry was implying. But yes, he was calling him a coward. Yeah, I just want to make it clear. He was calling him a coward, guys. It wasn't like, yeah.
A racial comment.
Yeah. It was, he would say it, like, implying the guy was cowardly, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Steve
Austin did it a little bit back in the day, too.
Yeah.
Brett, you're yellow, Brett. You're yellow.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god! You know
I saw
what
the chat turn there, and I was like, "Fuck!"
You know why they call you Stone Cold? Because your stones are so cold from facing me. I miss wrestlers need weird, quirky, kind of corny disses. You know,
yeah,
very, very specific to themselves.
Yeah, they do.
The fact that those two guys could talk shit to each other, two men, right? And their disses, if you write them on paper, you're yellow, Brett, and then you're stone cold because your stones are cold. Anybody else, that sounds like shit. But it came off like two men talking shit.
Yeah, because most insults in the professional wrestling arena are going to be like super lame. Because it's just such a stupid, like, it's all about delivery, dude. Delivery's everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Just, your stones are so cold. Do you remember how Rock got off Seth Rollins, you fucking walking clown emoji motherfucker?
Perfect. That's a diabolical insult, bro. Walking clown emoji.
It felt like he's losing words and needed something to call him. Like, I think one time he literally was like, you got Cody Rhodes and fucking Crybaby and Seth Rollins, you're walking clown emoji.
A lot of Dwayne's material is terrible, but he's so good at, like,
yes.
The one that actually popped me content wise was when he did the off is the direction you can fuck.
Yes, off is the direction you can fuck. Joe, he called John Cena in 2012 and got this off perfectly. He called him a Kung Pao bitch.
Yeah, he just got it off. Everyone was like, "Yeah, bro, that's what he is."
Yes, he was like, John Cena, you are a Kung Pao bitch, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, get him."
Genuinely,
get him.
The further we get removed from that that season of Dwayne, I should say, bro, what he did to that TV was absolutely outrageous.
Yes,
I remember being so fucking mad when they would do wrestling matches on SmackDown. I'd be like, please, God, can we get back to The Rock, please?
Yes. Joe, all right, I'll reveal something now. They had a thing on the sheet called sliding time. What that meant was nobody knew how long their match was going to go on SmackDown. The reason they didn't know was because they legitimately didn't know if Dwayne was going to go 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 40 minutes. And they would legitimately also have the networks on hand and be like, listen, we will delay our commercials till after he's done. Whenever he's done, he's done. We promise you we'll fit all our commercials in. If it means that none of our matches get time, so be it. And so Candice LeRae would be in the back, and she didn't know if her match is 3 minutes or like an immediate.
Not on the show. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And we were all like, yeah, man.
The reason I say this is, there is nothing I hate more generally than a bloke just monologuing in the ring, but
Yeah.
he's just different, and he's physically the charisma of that bloke's different. It's the concert he did.
Oh my god.
I remember watching that and thinking like, do you know how seriously? I know we're going a bit over the top here, but we're just being honest because Eva and I were talking about this at the time on the air and privately. Like, do you know how fucking good you have to be to pull that segment off, dude? Like,
A sing
that
along
segment should have been terrible.
yes. A guy singing a song in the middle of a serious program,
Yeah.
like to open a TV show.
Yeah, and then breaking, like changing the tone entirely and turning into like this sinister mob boss.
And he's like, Cody Rhodes, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I want to talk to your mama. And you're like, and the crowd like, oh. And he looks and he lowers his glasses a little bit and he's like, Mama Rhodes. And he's like, the way he like started using like Southern lingo. At one point he goes like, Cody Rhodes, let me learn you something, boy. You're like, what?
Yeah, he was fucking out of his mind. What was he talking about half the time, bro? The only thing that bums me out, and I know I'm the outlier on this and everyone else liked it, I wish I liked the match.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually give anything. I'm never going to rewatch it. It scares me too much. I would give anything to have loved that match because I loved the build so much. And then the match started, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like it was just, I just didn't like the match at all.
You didn't know what it wanted to be, bro. There's a promo. I think it was like after. I think it was either after Mania or like it was after the Reign segment. Where he's like, and then I whipped you, Cody. I whipped you like a dog, boy.
It's the best acting he's ever done, bro.
Whipped you like a dog, boy.
I will say though, Smashing Machine, dude, I am locked in.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Yeah,
I'm so excited. Have you ever seen the documentary?
No,
bro. Yeah, avoid it and just like watch the film because it will probably be more fun that way. Well, not fun, but it'll be more.
It looks good. The movie
looks really good.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. I'll never forget. We were in minute 20 of the Cody Rock segment after Mania last year, and there was just this like uncomfortable vibe to it. And Jenny Omega tweeting, "It's starting to get experimental." Like I just died laughing at it because like when he was like, "I want to hold your belt."
It was really weird, wasn't it?
He was like, "This belt right here, I got it from Muhammad Ali." Like, what's happening? You know?
And there was like subtext to the Ali stuff that was deeply unsettling. Like the way that he just like walked off with his belt. I couldn't tell if that was Dwayne implying that he was like that insane or he's just so insane he didn't realize how it came across. Like he was holding a pretend belt that he like, why did he have that belt?
I don't, and he's like, let me hold yours, you hold mine, you know? And then he gave him a thing in his hand.
Fuck. And
it just, all of it. Like that was like the greatest character I've ever seen. And this mother,
yeah.
And WWE this year, when you tell the story of 2025 WWE and all of the ills that they face, many of the wounds that are self-inflicted, everything in between, the story begins with Dwayne killing the final boss on Netflix.
You took the words out of my mouth. We were doing a grin along for that show, and I will never forget the vibes when Dwayne just threw the character away. Like, everyone watching was just like, what the fuck just happened? You know, like, it was the most interesting character in the promotion. I remember it vividly, and it set the tone for the rest of the episode.
Bro, in an era where everybody breaks fame, that was the most damaging. I think that's the most damaging breaking of kayfabe ever in wrestling.
Cody was like in the crowd, and he was like, it was just, yeah.
I like legitimately real time money catching on fire. Like that sounds over the top. Even if he's never gonna plan to come back,
why do that? Yeah.
People always throughout 2024, whenever there was a lull or a dead point, there's always just the distant vision of Rock someday, and to just take a shit on that was like really damaging. I still don't think it's been like recovered.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a real shame.
Again, I think that's like the greatest modern gimmick I've ever seen on like wrestling television.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. People in AEW were like hitting me up like, yo, there was someone in AEW that hit me up and was like, yo, the way they were talking amongst themselves in their company was like, the best way I could explain it, it's like people were in awe of like the level he was operating in. And it wasn't in like a oh my god, we got to do something to match this guy, or oh my god, they're doing this, or oh my god, WWE itself is so good. It was more like there's like a level to reach of like on-screen wrestling character work that like none of us are at and don't know if we could reach.
Yeah,
it's just because the talent say that.
Yeah, it was. You can't. It's like you're looking over the other channel, going, "How the fuck are we supposed to guard him?" Like AEW has a squad, bro. They can compete talent for talent with almost anything, but that guy cutting promos was something different. You couldn't compete with that.
No, there was people on the SmackDown roster at the time who their matches have gotten cut that told me at the time, like, bro, you got to just hold that, man. Like, it really, like, it's Dwayne. It is what it is. It's Dwayne. Yeah. Incredible. Josh Toffee, 199. What's your game plan for the debate, Ibu? I'm going to be very bad faith. Amari, 5. $2. Thoughts on the ESPN WWE NFL deals? I don't know. And I'm curious. There's talk of them on certain shows putting the first hour for free and then doing the rest later on the paywall or whatever. I think we're way too early. I had reactions on the first day, but I think we're way too early to like really know what this is going to be. And what I mean by that is, will their pay-per-views have more matches when they do this? Will they have more ads during the matches? How will this affect the actual product? I don't know. What I do know that is they're fragmenting their content across different platforms on purpose. In terms of me as an active fan, what I am most concerned about is the library. And I think you'd probably agree, Joe. I just want to be able to watch Slamboree in 1997 when I want to watch it. And how will that be affected by this? I don't know if you have any additional opinions or if you concur with that.
So it's complicated in the sense that I think they've concluded the best way to monetize the library is something that's completely at odds with what they previously believed, and it's YouTube. Mm. And that is great until a point, but unfortunately, and we don't need to get into specifics, especially with the way you and I can often get tonally with this thing, there are certain characters they are not going to want to upload YouTube uploads with. And we understand that. The issue with that is, if that is the only way to access the library, then it is like, in the case of Benoit, okay? If they are not going to upload pay-per-views that feature Chris Benoit matches, then in terms of WCW, like...
You're losing the entire second half of the 90s.
All of it. Same with Nitro. Like, they're uploading... Someone told me that they've uploaded... Someone told me they've clipped him out of Nitros, and someone else told me they've not uploaded a Nitro he's on, and they just do matches from those ones. I don't know I don't know what's true. Someone can confirm either of those. But, and again, we understand it. But that's the issue with this being the new model of the light. I mean, I've personally kind of just adjusted and like, I've just concluded I have to find my own route of attack with these things.
Yeah. I have given up, Joe, on watch the stuff that is featured by Peacock. I don't watch through Peacock anymore.
No,
I just find it now,
which is the best way anyway. But not everyone is in deep as us and goes, right, can someone give me a drive? You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. But I mean, dude, we were in Self-Made. And we wanted to watch a Muta match where it was, what was it, Muta, Flair, and Sting? I believe was that the match? No, it was Sting, Flair, and Arn versus Muta, and who was Dragon Master and I forgot Buzz Sawyer. What was the show that was on? That was NWA Power Hour. That's not on any streaming. That's nowhere.
No, well,
that's on YouTube.
While we're on this, and I'll do this quickly.
Yes. I
found their refusal to even confront the challenges of the WCW tape library to be pitiful, to be honest. I mean, I understand the way they labeled their stuff supposedly was diabolical, but like, the WWE Network existed as its own entity for 6 years, and they never made it beyond like Saturday night. They never uploaded one episode of Worldwide, never uploaded an episode of Power Hour, Main Event. Like,
there's a lot of valuable stuff on those shows.
Well, Worldwide... Like, Loss always thought this. Worldwide was the actual WCW show to watch. The Crockett show to watch.
Right.
By contrast, fucking, like, Jesus. The studio show is great, but there's so many fans that think that's the only Jim Crockett TV because that was on the network. And that drives me nuts because that wasn't TV. Yeah.
My brother found this out when he was trying to go through like 86, and he's like watching through the one show that's on their stream on Peacock, and he's realizing like he's missing out on certain angles and things.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. And what's actually sad about this show is we're already facing a crisis, would be over the top to say, but we're already facing a situation where young wrestling fans don't know much beyond what's happening in front of them right now. And they're already not inclined to go back and like learn and discover and watch. And that's even just from WWE's own history, let alone WCW or beyond, right? And now, with that option not even being available, it's just going to allow more intellectual ignorance, in my opinion, in the coming years when it comes to talking about wrestling and wrestling.
It's a shame. There's no better way to get, you know, an understanding on kind of the way these things go than studying history. I mean, that's the same for anything. It's just if you know how wrestling generally is trended, you're going to be very quick to figure out like where it goes next, to be completely honest. And that isn't a thing of like arrogance. I'm impossibly dumb bloke, but there are things that I will know are going to happen purely because I've looked at wrestling history with any vague interest. And I'm not a historian by any means.
Right.
But I do think there's something to be said for like, if you're talking about wrestling every day on the internet, you know, just have a little bit of awareness about stuff that's happened before 2020, because I think otherwise you're in like a bubble, and you know, everything seems like the most extreme, extraordinary things ever happened. That's fine.
Right.
But you just context, you know?
Yeah, and then some of those accounts get influence, and it's like you now are a tastemaker within the community, and you're a tastemaker that respectfully, like your taste, I mean, not your scope is very limited.
Yeah, taste is whatever.
Right.
Because here's the thing. If you came into wrestling in 2021, there is a really good chance that I could give you a playlist of the shit I like, and you'd be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
There's 100% that's possible. It probably would actually be what happened, to be honest. But just having an awareness of who guys were and what they meant to the business. You know, like we had a great time in Self-Made. Little plug there for you.
Yeah.
Monday Night Muto, right? And we were both stunned at how much the chat they wasn't familiar. And that's not a knock. It's just, it's why I'd rather see people debate. You know, we always joke about the Kurt Angle debate, right? Which is boring. But today, there actually was like discourse about, does the Shane match psychologically make sense or does it not? And I had friends that were on the team of yes, it does, and friends that were on the team of, and I was actually reading it going, I usually have had enough of the Kurt debate.
Yeah.
It actually popped me to see like people engaging with a match in that way. It was refreshing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I think conversations about a match where you just kind of talk about why it's so valuable to you is awesome.
Yeah.
I think having repetitive conversations of, oh, Dave didn't give this guy this many stars, and I don't
that's brutal. That sucks.
And, oh, you know, Kurt Angle's not good, and Kurt Angle is good, and it's just that rerun shit stinks.
Right.
But people being like, I actually did like this match because of this, and I didn't like. That's fine. I welcome that. That's why the Punk Gunter divisiveness led to some actual interesting stuff on social media.
It did, because the reality is what makes wrestling interesting, the same as what makes music or movies interesting, is we can watch or listen to the same thing and leave it with very different opinions on it. I mean, that's to me what makes this interesting. So
right, it's better conversation to me than a lot of the, frankly, just like repetitive shit that people
just yelling at each other.
Yeah, it's crap. It's fucking crap. Chi-Town Spurs 9525, $5. Those 30-minute Twitter videos from Dwayne were psychotic. We will never see anything like that again. The fact that I like watched them, like anyone else post that, I'm just scrolling. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this. Those on my Fridays, Joe, I'd play that as I was getting ready for work. It would like get me going, you know. Like normally I'd play music. I'm just playing Dwayne's weird rant. So there you go. Love Dogs Avery 199. Ewa, do you think Drew has a chance to beat Cody? Yes. Dragmaster Adam, y'all see Ice Cube versus that movie looks crazy.
I've seen it.
That movie, you watched it?
I had to watch it because it just looked like the worst film ever, didn't it?
How was it?
I broke up into 3 parts because it was so bad. I actually couldn't just get through it. There is not however bad you're assuming it is, like it genuinely is well short of that. Like it is actually like, to be honest, you can have fun with the memes and be like, oh, it's so bad it's good, but it's actually like one of the most pathetic things ever made, genuinely. The Amazon element of it is like, I mean, just shameful. There's charm in how much Cube doesn't give a fuck, and there's like, you can tell there's this part of him that doesn't think it's ever going to be released. Apparently, it was filmed 5 years ago. So it's like a pandemic thing. So I think Cube probably was like, "This, no one's ever going to see this shit, bro." Like, it's just, you know. But so that part is funny, but like the way the way that it is produced as a motion picture is disgraceful. To be honest, it really is horrific.
Joe, the Self-Made Discord guys have been begging me to watch this all week.
It would be brilliant in Discord, genuinely. I would watch that with you in Discord.
My brother is like, nigga, we gotta fucking watch this shit. I'm like, I'm not watching it. And you know what? If we get enough people to bother me about this, we'll watch it. If people...
I will be there for that, genuinely. I'll watch, because that is the perfect film for this. Because you don't, the dialogues, there's no sense to be made of it anyway, so you don't have to worry about like fucking talking over it, you know?
Right. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you, Adam. Found out John Bernthal and Kurt Angle are related. Two really beast fucking dudes.
Yeah. Did you know this, by the way?
I think I might have vaguely heard about it once. Yeah. Forgot about it.
Same.
Like I think like now that I'm hearing, I'm like I feel like I've heard this once. Went, oh, that's cool, and totally forgot again. You know. So there you go. Love Dogs Avery. Hope you guys have had a great rest of your day. Love the dogs. Thank you, man. ADL 21. Ibu does the jobs from Regal's Real Man entrance. I actually do some of those. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He's a man, such a man, such a man. You know that whole thing. Which heel turn was worse, Steve Austin or Cena? Are you kidding me?
Oh, bro. Yeah.
Here's
the thing.
Kidding me?
Commercially, Steve's heel turn was a mistake.
Yes.
Artistically, legitimately some of his best stuff is Stone Cold.
Yes. He has like a number of excellent wrestling matches as a bad guy.
Yeah.
A number of them.
And he's entertaining. Like, even when it gets too silly, at least he's good in that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
heel Cena has no merit. It's not good or entertaining or funny or charming, and the wrestling is really, really
everything bad. He did as heel Cena would have been better if he was a babyface. Every single thing. Like, the stuff we liked about the Punk match would have been reiterated and multiplied if he was a babyface, you know? Like,
yes.
Yeah. It's the Orton match, same thing. Like, there's no good. And I honestly, I feel bad about continuing to put the boots to John on this, because I think he's saying that he probably thinks was stupid too, to be honest. But it's just like, I can't, now that it's done, I thought we can say conclusively, like, this was a diabolical heel turn. Like,
yes,
considering the juice this had coming out of that angle, dude,
it is a failure in every which way.
One of the biggest I've ever seen, and I am very seldom someone that says stuff like that, but I remember coming out of Chamber, we were talking about best angle of fucking, you know, the last 25 years, you know?
Compared to Hulk Hogan's heel turn. And that didn't even feel hyperbolic at the time.
No.
It felt like, okay, this has a shot to be that. We shall see, but it has a shot. And what we've now got is legitimately one of the biggest wrestling failures I have ever seen. Creatively,
worst of all, it wasted so much of his final year.
Yes. He has so many limited dates now, and so many of his matches were just bad because of the character he's playing. Like, really, when you think about it, especially seeing how he performed at SummerSlam, Joe, and how much more natural he is right now, he would have had the second ever good Randy Orton match if he was just a babyface. Now looking back at it, with the atmosphere that he had in St. Louis,
easily, and it's just they complicated the easiest thing ever. Yeah.
Yes, and now you're gonna look back in retrospect and go, his retirement tour was wasted on an awful heel turn that did nobody any favors, a bunch of Logan Paul matches, and like you're gonna come out of it with maybe 2 good wrestling matches.
And I mean, that's the part, the kicker of all this is he's back to being a babyface, and his first opponent on pay-per-view as a babyface beyond Cody is Logan Paul. And you just kind of go, and at what point is this a rib?
And the funniest part about it, Joe, just because of the heat and because he'll be playing babyface, by default, that's going to be the second best match of this year from him.
Yeah.
Which is like,
I have no doubt. Yeah. But it's like you said earlier, it could, you know, some things could be good. I mean, they're right.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the theme of this video. Good is overrated. You got to be right sometimes. For you, Joe, at points this year, TNA was right. Was it ever good?
No,
but it was right. And being and justice is what matters in this world. Point blank. Point fucking blank. Hush, Knicks. Fine. I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I fought with Tyrese Halliburton about the ethics of the officiating in the playoffs. Was I right? Probably not.
You were doing the right thing, though.
I was doing the right thing. As a Knicks fan, with my Knicks fans in my community watching me, I had to fight Tyrese a little bit. I just had to. It's the right thing to do.
Dude, that was crazy, man. That was. I know I joked around earlier, but I was like, I knew it was a thing that was going to happen, but even still, seeing the graph, it was like, holy fuck, dude. Wow.
Tyrese Halliburton just on it.
My brother texted me, was like, dude, how'd they get Tyrese Halliburton? I was like, it's a long story.
I told my mom afterwards. She was like, what?
How cool is that?
We're just telling
like the thing that we're announcing this week at the Grin, like, blown my mom's mind. Like, she's like, what? It's cool, dude. I mean, for you, it's like times 10 because it's actually funnier in your case because it's someone that your team was like battling with.
Yes, on every level, it's incredible. Hush, Knicks. Is it more tragic or more impressive to manage to have multiple bad matches with Sami, AJ, Drew each? Also, not one notable match that you return. Yeah, look, the bottom line is he's not a very good wrestler. People seem to connect with him in spite of this. I am done trying to comprehend that, and I will simply now wish those people the best and hope that they support the guy if he's out of WWE. Gonad Death. That was a pretty good one, right, Joe? I think I handled that very
because I do think it's important we're more frustrated with the coverage, I think, than the guy. I mean, the guy's whatever, bro. Like, I don't think his work's good, but I mean, fuck, I don't really care that much, you know?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Windsor versus Siri and Windsor versus Hater made me a fan. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Shout out to Alex Windsor. Epson Q7T. This is the account that tried to get Tyrese in hot water yesterday. $1.99. Why Hallie ain't answer my Crippler and Malone questions? Well, he has a PR team, so that's why. Statlander is in her Okada balloon era. Perhaps.
Yeah. If you want. I don't remember what that era was, so I can't help on that. Sorry.
He was
depressed. Was that when he was like sad? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. My bad.
Would you guys say Oba and Fletcher are better than Braun overall? Wrestling wise, probably, yeah. But Braun also has a bunch of like awesome intangibles that make him like a similar level prospect in my view in different ways. And so I do think Braun's going to main event the Mania and win a world title. And even though like he's not as, beautiful of a worker as Kyle or, whatever you want to say. He's awesome in spite of some of these things that limit him.
I would say Oba and Braun is a much more. I wasn't reacting to you, by the way. There was a plane going right over top of my studio, and I was very concerned. I think Braun and Oba is a like-for-like comparison that we could have 10 minutes talking about. I think Kyle Fletcher's in a different category, and I don't mean that in the sense that he's like, his level's better. I do think he's better, but he also is a different type of wrestler entirely.
Correct.
Like, if I'd have said to you in 1992, like, is Barry Windham better than Scott Steiner? It's like, yes, he's absolutely a better worker than Scott Steiner, but what made Scott Steiner awesome was that he was not a classical worker. So you have to be careful with that. Yeah, but I mean, Kyle is clearly the best worker here because he's a classical heel worker, right? So
he will be forever. Then they will never be the workers.
No, and they shouldn't try to be like him because they're a different thing. Right. I also think Kyle is quietly very experienced, has been wrestling for a long time, and people kind of don't realize it because he's young.
Since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
So there you go. Ibu don't know. So were you born in 94 or 95? Corey David. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Don't know, so.
These are very great years in time. 95. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers film was released. I had that movie on VHS. It's a great film. And 94, the New York Knicks made it to the NBA Finals. These are great years in human history. 94 is one of the great years in the history of Japanese wrestling.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corey. Ibu, thoughts on black talent in WWE, male or female? They're all very, very talented, and I wish them all nothing but the best. Bianca Belair is incredible, and if it was up to me, she'd win the women's championship sooner than later. Montez Ford is phenomenal, and I would hope that the Street Profits get more opportunities rather than wrestling their first PLE in 16 months, which is what the stat was for SummerSlam. Carmelo Hayes is somebody that I'm rooting for, man. Like, look, I think people sometimes misconstrue like the clamor for Melo or the we want Melo stuff. At least in my end, when I do it, it's not me saying that Carmelo Hayes is Kenny Omega, but it is me saying that he is talented and he's more than qualified to be a player on their television. And he's exhibited this already. And so to me, it makes little sense for him not to be one of the players. So I would hope that he gets more opportunities, and I'm rooting for him to do so.
Dude, you and I, we can be fully transparent. Neither of us expected Melo to be in the main event of pay-per-views, and we were both very bullish and very positive on his initial usage on SmackDown, where he was like cocky, and he kind of would bite off more than he could chew as this
and eat shit for it.
And we were both, we said it on this show, on whatever fucking shows we're doing, and then we were both like, this is a good spot for him.
Yes.
And it's a good way for him to get his feet wet. And
yes,
that's what's sad about when people turn it into like, you really think Melo should main event WrestleMania? It's like, no, actually. I actually don't think Melo's there at all yet. Right. I think what people are asking for is, can like he do stuff of any note on the television show, please? That's literally the bare minimum people are asking for this guy, you know?
Correct. And which is why when he started off in that role and then did the Andrade stuff, we had no objections. We're like, yeah, this is good for him, you know? And I think where there was a hiccup was when these efforts didn't lead to a United States Championship win and Nakamura won it, it just felt off. Like Nakamura's winning at the expense of Andrade and Melo felt completely off. And there were some ideas for him and AJ that got derailed by AJ being hurt. But once that happened and then Nakamura won the US belt, it just his creative never quite felt right after that. And then they put him with Miz, and that just doesn't work. So there you go.
And, you know, look at Andrade's part of it. I mean, I think the Rey Fenix team is a nice vehicle to do TV. But it ain't, you know, it's not exactly a grand solution, as if we're being completely honest. I mean, they're going to be another team in a division that has really good matches that the promotion doesn't really care about or get behind. And by contrast, he and Melo, as you just said, in this best of 7, were really, it felt like climbing a little bit. So yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The one thing I did hear from, because I didn't really talk to WWF this week, you know, yeah, right. They reached out to me on the weekend to tell me, to inform me that they're going to go with Melo as a babyface and they're going to turn him against the Miz. And I went, cool. So
I think Melo in ring will be assisted by that turn. I think personality and character wise, they have to be very careful not to like drain him of all of the stuff that actually makes him interesting.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they should approach it the way Dom organically got over on during Mania season. It had to be that where like you can say you're turning him, but like don't actually like make motions to actually do that character wise. You have to just like let him just continue to exist the way he exists and let it happen. You know, knowing that you're turning him.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thank you, Corey David.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Ryan Cicchini. Nakamura went camping with Inamura and Julia. Well, that's cute. That's cute. Go Birds. Do you think Rhea Io happens at Mania or Perth? I think it happens in Australia.
I think that is main event in Australia. That's money. I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I think it's happening. So there you go. AAA is gaining my interest. Even thoughts on AAA. It's funny you say this. I had a conversation with Joe where I basically did concede that this Triple Mania show coming up, it's just, you know, it's still kind of interesting. Oh, what the fuck?
I heard AAA.
Oh my god!
To be here, baby.
Oh my god!
I heard AAA, and I had to pull up. You know, I've been backstage for about a few minutes now, and I wasn't gonna come up. I saw the boys were ending the show. You know what I mean? I saw they were getting ready to close out the tag, and I said, you know what? We need some bloodline interference, baby. And I came to talk some AAA.
I'll be honest. So we're watching Mil Muertes versus Prince Puma versus Pentagon Jr. in the Discord. And I'm like, this Mil Muertes guy was really sick. Whatever happened to him? And the guys tell me he's El Messias in AAA. I'm like, all right. Big motherfucker with the tattoos. I'm like, I could get into that. I found out that he's working Elio del Dr. Wagner Jr. on this Triple Mania show. I said, hold on. Then I find out that the Garzas are facing Pagano and CycleCon in a street fight. And in AAA, you can bleed. And I said, okay. Dirty Dom's title defense or title challenge is on this show. I said, okay. Finn Balor will be on this show in a tag. And then I found out the show's free on YouTube. And I went, you know what, man? I'm going to watch Triple Mania. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, no, you're not allowed.
I don't know if that's, I don't know. You know, Joe, we've been talking about justice this whole time. In the grand scheme of things, it's pretty easy to tell what's justice and what's not justice. I think AAA resists. I think it resides in a gray area. I don't know if AAA is justice, Joe. I really don't.
I reckon you do. If you give it some thought, I reckon you do. This was one of those moments where, like, you know, when your boy hits you up and he goes, fuck, man, like, I just feel like shit. I need to get myself a pizza, you know, some Coke, some Coca-Cola, I mean. And it's like, you know what, bro, that ain't good for you, but I think you need that right now. This is what this was like. You hit me up and you're like, dude, they're running this show. And I said, listen, man, you need a little bit of help right now, all right? Just for this one time, get the pizza.
Right.
Watch the AAA, like, it'll be okay. And so I support this. Even if I know it's not good for you long term, you need this right now to get through to next week.
Yeah. So let me make this very clear.
Yeah.
This is not Ibu becomes AAA, man. That's a bad idea. That would be bad for my mental health. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
For this weekend, I think we need to hang out. And here's the thing about it, Joe. I might do it and have a little bit of fun in the moment, and then come out of it and tell you, Joe, dude, I feel like shit, man. I don't know.
Yeah, you're gonna, bro. You're gonna be all bloated and shit. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna come out of that 4-way main event where they have like 90 interferences and shit, and then like somehow, some way, Vampiro gets involved because he always finds a way to get involved in the main event. Conan's gonna run in and low blow like fucking Vikingo. Yeah. I'm gonna walk up to you and I'm gonna go, Joe, I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Man, you know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say the business is back.
Show's gonna end with an Alberto return, and he's gonna come in my DMs like, "What did I do, bro?"
You know what? You're joking, but I sincerely think he's coming back this weekend.
Oh, I think he's still involved.
Thought in my head.
Yeah.
Joe,
because I was like, they wouldn't write him off like that.
Joe, do you know what the commentary team is for this show?
So this was the one thing that did. I mean, I will admit, I was thinking I could watch this video. To be fair, Corey Graves is one thing, but John Bradshaw Layfield is, you know,
John Layfield and Corey Graves,
outrageous duo.
I like
just JBL saying ball game just scratches a certain itch for me, you know.
Oh my god,
WWF Republican Party, New Japan,
hey nigga,
socialism. No, CML. Well, socialism. New Japan, Green Party, AAA, Libertarian. You know, it's like,
come on.
You tell your friend you're becoming a Libertarian, they're kind of like, I don't know, man. You know,
you get a bit suspicious of where they're leaning.
Like, I don't know about that one, man. You know, I don't know.
I don't know about that one, bro.
You know, but for this weekend, we'll do what we got to do. So there you go.
Listen, I've been trying to tell y'all for 2 years, bro. We're we don't produce greatness all the time, but when we produce greatness, it's greatness.
If you say so, man. If you say so. Yayo Trejo, Rob, you can read the rest of these super chats now since I'm tired. Since you want to be here, do some fucking work, you know.
What the fuck? Yo, what the? Yo, you're so lucky. Yayo Trejo, $2. Imagine War Games being Grandes versus Luchadors. Oh my god.
That would I'll be honest.
That would be fire.
You know, I've taken the stands that I've taken. Would I look at that? Yes, I would look at that. I'll be honest. I would. Someone in the chat said New Japan is fascism.
Dead ass.
That is godly. That is godly.
No, because if you think about it, every year, at the beginning of the year, New Japan throws you a bone. And they're like, yo, we're going to give you everything you want. No problems asked. You want this guy pushed? Absolutely. And then around the middle of the year, they're like, yo, you know what? Actually, we changed our mind. And it's now the House of Torture Act, where House of Torture will ruin everything that we have planned for the rest of the year. So, you know.
There you go. All right, go ahead, Rob.
Will Chisholm, $2. Will Shayna Baszler and Dakota Kai join AEW?
I actually do think both of them will appear in AEW at some point. Yeah, I do. I do believe this.
Yo, you gotta stop
the
this.
deal
Never mind.
with Shayna as a producer?
Shawn Michaels is a whimsical guy, Joe, and sometimes
I've noticed.
Yes, sometimes he just calls people and goes like, "Hey, you want to just pass by and just do something?" And the thing about wrestlers is like, most of them, if they're in the area and Shawn goes, "Hey, can you pass by and just do some shit?" Most of them are like, "Yeah, well, why the fuck not?"
So you think that's all it was? Because I don't know. I'm just asking.
I actually believe that Shawn Michaels was just like, "Hey, Shane, you want to just show these girls how to wrestle a little bit?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And just kind of did it. Just put her cigarette out and went out there.
I mean, in that case, I presume Shayna could be a factor in that aforementioned tag title conversation we had.
That's what I was in the expectation of, actually.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe. I mean, go ahead.
Love Dog Avery, $1.99. Raw and SmackDown feel like two different places. Dead ass. No, dead ass.
Eva looked up at me and went, "Go for the Rana," and I said, "Bro, I don't do that. Rob's gonna have to do that. I don't do it." He's back.
No, dead ass. Like dead ass. Going between SmackDown and Raw, because I watched both of them on the air last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, it's like insane, bro. I don't get SmackDown is like a weird place. Like it starts off with Cena and Cody, and that's like cool, and then they're just like, "Yo, R-Truth is gonna jig again, y'all." And then they're just like, "Yo, y'all want Miz segments? We got Miz segments for y'all."
It's weird, bro. It's almost like the head booker just like doesn't book SmackDown. It's weird.
But then the head booker is like, "Yo, you want Fraxium versus Phoenix and Andrade? We got y'all."
Yeah.
I think it's interrupted by Why Hit 6.
It's almost like, Joe, SmackDown is put together by a committee of people without the head of the snake being there.
Yeah, but that can't be the case because like half of his job is to book SmackDown. So surely he would be really locked in on SmackDown.
Yeah, you would. I think it's almost certain that he's there and he's obviously driving all the creative storylines. He is signing off on what happens on that show.
I watched the Netflix one, bro. He's in charge.
Absolutely. Because again, the show comes off like Brian James and Bruce Pritchard and company are just kind of like doing their own things and then taping it together and throwing it out there on television. Yeah. But WWE wouldn't do something like that. No. Thank you, Avery. Appreciate the super chat. Johnny Burney, great fun yesterday. Hoping no heat with me and Ty. I don't think so.
Big heat.
No, there's no.
He told me. I was talking to Tyrese earlier.
MP Juke 123 10 AED. I don't know which currency that is. Don't think Cross goes to AEW because Callis is there. Cross is not going to AEW because he's fucking bad. First of all,
I don't think he goes to AEW in general. I just don't. I don't think they would go for that one. So there you go.
already got a few bad wrestlers on there. We don't need more. Infantry. SJ Conroy 17 199. What happened? What happened?
What's the need for that, bro?
Why?
What happened? Infantry. Oh fuck. 199 pound. Any heels who had a face run as bad as heel. What happened? What's going on?
Any heels who
had
as bad as heel Cena. That's fascinating.
What the fuck?
I think some Ric Flair face runs were kind of weird, but nothing.
Yeah, but his work was too good.
Yeah, I agree.
The one that people would say is Miz, but I think that the one with Shane, I think, was more a failure of when they had Shane just beat him every fucking month. I think people were actually completely fine with cheering him at that point, to be honest. I think they just beat him into the fucking dust.
Face Miz has historically always been weird, though. I will say
it has. But like, you know, the story.
Yo,
Okay,
it's
I'm
so-
sorry to do this because I know you guys hate the Miz. I'm sorry, but I have to do this. The story
Yeah, go ahead.
the story they told, where he wanted to like prove to his dad that he could win without being a cheating prick, and like he realized he had to redeem himself. There was something to that. And
Right.
Shane McMahon legitimately beat him like 4 times in a row, dude. Like, beat him every fucking time they wrestled. And I just remember thinking, like, this isn't even a guy they fuck with. Like, they like The Miz. And they still do this to him because this is how Vince's brain works at this point, you know? Yeah.
psychotic.
Yeah.
Psychotic.
It's Luger. I had something I was gonna say about the Miz face turn. People don't talk about how much of a terrorist Shane McMahon was on WWE television in 2019.
One of the worst ever, bro. One of the worst
Like,
ever.
he goes from doing the best in the world stuff at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
feuding with to winning the tag titles with the Miz, and then he goes on to during the summer to feud with Roman Reigns.
He beats
the longest
Roman.
feud ever.
Yep.
Beats Roman. It ruins Drew McIntyre for like the entire year. It's the worst. It's the worst shit ever.
Joe-
It's Luger 627. Huh? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Rob, you're talking to Joe. Joe's probably a top 3 on the planet hater of 2019 Shane McMahon.
I actually think that run is like one of the worst things in the history of wrestling. And
The
I never
no,
say that, but
he's
I
right.
believe it.
He's right.
Yeah. Like,
He's right. Like he ruined FTR. It absolutely like FTR was dead already.
yeah, but it
at
made it
that
worse.
At that point, you were like, "Yo, get FTR the fuck off my TV." And then like he ruined Roman Reigns for me for like half a year. I was like, "Yo, please, like Roman, do anything else. Yo, go make movies, bro. Please, like just go make movies already." I was just like, "Yo, this is horrible."
It
thank you for
was
the super
like
chat.
2019 WWE is genuinely one of the most like horrifying bursts of television and professional wrestling action ever produced.
Bro, 8 niggas fought. I think it was at the fucking, what card was that? It was a Super Showdown to be like I forgot what trophy it was. And then the Undertaker just came out and choke slammed AJ. Like, this is 2020, so I'm wrong. But still, it's still
same
combined
shit,
with
bro.
2019.
Same shit.
Like, it was so bad, bro. I was just like, yo, NXT, please, NXT, please.
Yeah, it's bad.
God.
Incredible.
It's Luger. 6278 199. The hate Sammy has been getting breaks my heart. Hey man, karma, nigga.
What?
That's
Karma, fuck,
crazy.
Cover for what?
I ain't gonna say karma what for, but you know what.
I don't. I really don't.
Thank you.
Oh. Listen,
Karma,
man.
fuck, nigga.
Sometimes you got to beat Gunther. But, are you aware of this, Joe?
Yeah, I am. This is disgraceful behavior from our beloved Rob. Look, man, if Sami Zayn's your favorite wrestler and people are upset at Sami Zayn, you need, like, seriously, you need to understand how great this wrestler is that you're a fan of. Please do not be worried about people that like Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
If Sami Zayn is your favorite wrestler, you need to wear that shit like a badge of honor that people think he's a fucking, buried Karrion Kross. Fuck that, dude. Don't even sell for that. Don't even put it over.
I agree.
You need to just watch the Sami Zayn matches and enjoy yourself. You're in a blessed position. Let's be real. He's one of the great fucking pro wrestlers, dude. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree.
Hush, Knicks, $2. Can we have the White 6 convo yet, or is it too soon? I'll have a conversation, Nick.
Well, here's the bottom line. They were over the first time, and
but
you know what's funny? It actually worked. This weird idea that shouldn't work worked. But Hunter was like, I don't like it though, so go away. And now they brought it back, and in strategic, typical wrestling fashion, the Booker did what they do, Joe, where I don't like this or want it to work, and so I'm going to make sure. I'm gonna pretend to use this in good faith, but really I'm hoping it doesn't work this time. And he waited long enough that when he brought him back again, the people didn't care.
And the creative has clearly changed, and
yes, the team behind it has changed.
Initially, it was clearly inspired and had a specific vision.
Yes,
and it is now just like they will do generic 30-second pre-tapes and have matches, and
yes,
It is what it is.
I will never forgive you for what you did to American Made.
Sonic in the chat.
Ever.
Yo, big.
Let it go, champ. Let it go.
Ever. Nigga, ever.
Let it go. It'll be okay.
No.
What's this? EO and Roxy. this is a funny chat exchange. So Sonic tags Kale and goes, "Yo, big EO and Roxy grabs tonight." Kale, being measured an adult, goes, "Good for Roxy." I'll check that out. just a funny exchange in the chat there. But anyway,
guys, okay, so I have to do this. Rob, I'm sorry. You can't kill American Made. They never came to life. They never lived. You can't kill them. They just stayed dead.
Well,
they never,
it was partly, you know what it was? You know what it was? It was partially Wyatt Six, but it was mostly Triple H being like, look, guys, these guys have been talking together and getting together for like 5 months now. You still want to see them get together? Well, guess what? You have to wait another 2 weeks.
Joe, the second they came together, Hunter was like, all right, so I need you guys to help the Wyatts out. And it's like, wait.
If they ever gave a fuck about the American Made Act, it would have shown at some point. I can promise you. They did not give a fuck about that act, dude.
The night they got together, Joe, they beat up Gable.
Yeah.
The night American Made got together, American Made left the ring, and Gable got fucking Sister Abigail.
They were literally
they got together.
Now, let me be clear. If you liked the act, you think they could have done more, that's a different thing. What I'm saying is they were genuinely constructed so that there was just bodies for the White Six to beat up. That was like, it wasn't like they were having a run.
Yeah.
Like, that was what their role was, which is hilarious.
Because they're talented, looking back in retrospect, they really did make those Wyatt matches pop. When you look at
For
how
sure,
the matches came off,
Well, they're awesome, bro. Yeah, like, I mean, Gable's fucking, everyone knows how good Chad Gable is.
Chad have like a 3 1/4, 3.5 with like Uncle Howdy?
Yeah, he did. And Uncle Howdy led with a cravat, and I lost my shit. Grabbed the hold out the gate. Yeah, that was money.
Oh my god, I was so mad. I was like, I thought Bo Dallas was at least just gonna be Bo Dallas again. He was like, no, I'm gonna wear this fat ass mask with these fake dreads, and I was like, yo, oh my god,
Joe, we don't, you don't have to cell phone. Are you seeing how diabolical this private chat is?
Yeah, it's nasty, bro. I ain't putting it over. I ain't putting it over, bro. I'm not settling for it in any way, shape, or form. You're fucking updating me on this shit, dude.
No, Joe, because you can't just say.
We're not. We're kayfabe. Anyway, hush, Nix. Thank you.
Oh.
I was about to just read it out, Joe. Thank you, Hush.
Monty.
Are we done?
Yeah. Check private chat.
We don't have any more super chats left?
Yeah, no, we're done.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I thought okay. Well,
Sick.
If it wasn't for, see in a normal Monday like this, Joe, we would have done an impromptu Raw watch.
And we're definitely not doing that.
Yes, exactly. I was gonna say on a normal night, in this point in the night, we'd go, all right, let's watch Sami Zayn. You know what I mean?
I'm going to bed.
I can't believe that backup Hangman sat on his show and watched Monday Night Raw.
Well, I certainly won't be doing that now. I'll tell you what we will be doing, folks. So the Raw review is no more. Tomorrow, on the time slot, I will be there with Rob. It won't be for a Raw review, though. The new show is... Give me a drum roll, Rob. All right. That's not bad.
I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this.
Yeah. That's better than slapping your thighs, I will admit. I once did a drum roll on my legs. It sounded very bad.
It did.
It sounded nasty, is what it sounded.
Folks, self-made overtime.
Yeah.
The first name I wanted to give this was Self-Made Unreal Comedic Effect. And AO was like, go fuck yourself.
he's like, yo, die.
He was like, you need to die. Self-made overtime. Here's the deal, folks. After a nice week of self-made content, you can catch me and Rob recapping the week. Here's the deal. We will review actual formal reviews of all the matches that we watched in the Discord that week. We will also talk about anything else that we happen to do in the Discord that week, and we will preview the week ahead. So, for example, tomorrow's show, this is what it's going to look like. We will talk about the matches that we watched on Monday Night Muto. We will talk about the matches that we watched on the Thursday Night Watch Along. We will also review the film Malcolm X that we watched on Saturday, which was an incredible experience. We will also give you guys a little bit of fun, anecdotal, behind-the-scenes stuff regarding Tyrese Halliburton. So we'll talk about Tyrese and the aftermath of that. We will talk about Malcolm X. We'll talk about the matches that we watched on Monday, Thursday, and Sunday. We will preview you guys for the week ahead of content. We will take your questions and super chats, which will continue to be whatever you want them to be. It doesn't have to be about this. This is just our topics. We will preview things. I feel like I'm forgetting something very specific that I can't remember off the top of my head, but that's the general rundown for tomorrow. Self-made overtime. We will someone said bro said smart SMOT. Anyways, yeah, so again, we'll do real reviews of everything that we watched. We will talk about the movie, we'll talk about Tyrese. I'll even get into maybe whatever you guys might want to know regarding AO's return. But AO's back, like I said, and tomorrow will be the first episode of Self-Made Overtime. And again, you guys can ask whatever it is you want to ask. You can ask topical questions the way you normally always would have done on a Raw review. The same way on a normal Raw review you would ask me about Kenny Omega. You can still do that. But
yeah, like it's still like a super chats run the show type of deal. But like
for sure. But
we still have we kind of have an agenda to the show now.
Right. And I do think this will lead to some interesting conversations about some of the wrestling that we're watching, and it'll highlight a lot of old wrestling that we haven't rarely gotten to do on the WrestlePurists channel. So it'll be fun being able to talk to Rob about, Kensuke Sasaki versus Yoshihiro Takayama, which we watched last night. It'll be fun to talk about Malcolm X as a film, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. And I think you guys are going to get a lot of cool information and cool background behind the scenes stories. So there you go.
Whoa. I wait. First, Ibu, can you address this? What time is the show?
The same time the Raw review would start, 2:30.
Okay. It's on this channel.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It'll be on this WrestlePurists channel. Yes. Basically, folks, what I'm doing is I'm just telling you what the new agenda is for the show that you were always getting, which is the Tuesday 2:30 Ibu and Rob show on WrestlePurists channel.
Whoa, wait. I just want to address. Niggas keep saying Brock killed the Raw review. Brock did not kill the Raw review. Triple H killed the Raw review.
Oh,
nigga, we been stopped reviewing Raw, nigga. What the fuck?
Someone in the comments said Raw killed the Raw review, which is very funny. But that's the deal there. That's the deal there. Self-made overtime, and we hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'm very excited to actually talk about matches I give a fuck about. So there you go. What happened to AEW review? That's not a question for me. That's a question for Monty. But I do know that he is working on.
That's me.
He's working on something there. Is my understanding. So, ask him, man. I don't fucking book the AEW review. I love when people ask you this, Joe. I don't book this show. People. Where's the time?
Well, I tried booking. Don't ask me. I tried booking for 2 months. Never doing that again. Ten Ruza.
Did you?
$2.99.
That's fast.
What happened? Bailey and AEW, please.
Okay.
Review TNA. Don't threaten me with a good time. Wait, which TNA?
Rob would do
which
that.
TNA? Wait. No, I want to know which TNA are we talking here? Like
Rob would have
or
like any version of TNA. That's the thing about it.
Bro, I'll never
Well,
forget.
no, I did watch the show last week.
We're
the
gonna
night of Bound for Glory, when everyone was like, "Dude, this ladder match is terrible. This is sad. This is scary." And I just scrolled up once, and there was a screenshot of the Hardys with the straps, and Rob just like, "We're fucking back, bro."
25 years, nigga. 25 years.
is
25 years. It never ends.
When the Hardys,
and then guess what, Joe? We did it again. It's Slammiversary. It never ends.
Joe, that Bound for Glory match is gonna be so sad, and Rob will be on the timeline going like, history.
And when I say we, I don't mean me, Jeff, and Matt. I mean me and Jeff. We did it again.
Clip Gang says, looking cute today at Rob.
Yo, can somebody please ticket this nigga? Yo, I've been asking for a month. Can we ticket this nigga? Nah, it's a bit. Nobody, please. It's a bit. Don't ticket him. Don't. If you guys, the tickets are like the somebody's doing something bad in Discord. Like I'm telling the teacher basically, but not snitching. It's a good thing.
Nevertheless, folks, we have one more super chat if I'm not mistaken. Go for it.
I love Dogs Avery $4.99. If I asked about something on Raw I saw, can I still ask it?
So here's how I will deal with this. Rob still watches Raw, so he will probably give you an answer on that. More often than not, I likely won't have context to what you are. How do I put this? I won't have context to what you're asking me about. I have limit. Like people are starting to do this thing now in these super chats. They're asking me about like a Twitter thing. Like earlier, someone did it with like Peps and like a New Japan take, and it's like I just wasn't aware of what you're even talking about. And like so that's an increasing thing that I feel like I'm like people will ask me things and I feel like they're talking to me in Chinese. So I guess to answer your question, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me. But I think over time people will kind of like adjust what they ask based on like how the show is going. I think truthfully, I'm probably not going to have context to whatever you're asking me. But I mean, Rob watches Raw, so if you want to.
Oh yeah, I'm watching Raw right now. Well, I'm not watching Raw. I'm watching a fucking commercial. What gives? It sounds like a day that ends in that starts in M and ends in Y. So
there you go. So that's kind of my best way of answering that question. So there you go. Is that the last super chat?
Yeah, that's the actual official last super chat.
There you go, folks. This has been a very fun show. Joe is the master of somehow, through no actual effort of his own, Worldwide just goes longer when he's here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I love the business. That's why.
He loves the business, yeah. And again, if not for the events of last Sunday night, we probably would have gone another hour, which would have been bad for us. Would have been bad for us, our health. You know what I mean? It would have been tough on our bodies.
It actually was like genuinely bad for my health last time.
Yeah.
That was in a bad way.
Yes, it would have. We would have gotten up the next morning and like limped, but we would have done it, you know. But even still, we still put a hell of a shift here. So we want to thank Anna, we thank Rob, we thank Joe, and this has been WrestlePurists Worldwide. Please make sure to like the video if you haven't. Leave a nice comment if you could, and we'll see you tomorrow for Self-Made Overtime. Take care, everybody.